One, and we should be going.
Welcome back to Oasis Valley Mysteries, a Monster of the Week campaign set in the town of Redemption deep in the deserts of Arizona. The most recent of these mysteries was just concluded as the curse of the fire spirit of vengeance, a Kasha yokai, was broken before all its intended victims could be claimed and the invoker's soul banished to hell. In doing so, he managed to save the soul of one Soda Karada. In fact, through a series of events instigated by someone else's own curse, managed to seal the kasha within his corpse, causing the young man to gasp awake, now a living prison for the yokai. Additionally, y'all managed to track down the individual that seemed to be the root cause of the massacre and drug making scheme, one Dr. Damien Porter, a scientist within Pluripotent's biosynthesis department. Through his expertise and mysteriously gained resources, he had been producing the highly controlled and dangerous brain boosting drug known as Epiphany. After tracking him down to a safe house in the desert and being captured, he was given over to Detective Bentley of the Redemption Police and eventually departed in the custody of the FBI. This fact earned Agent Hanzo a stern reprimand from his superior within Pluripotent, but it was not long after that news of Dr. Porter's escape and then death at the claws and teeth of some wild beast became public knowledge. It has been several days since then, thankfully quiet except for the tedium of work and a few of your number having to give an official report concerning your involvement with the Hell's Coyotes. We resume tonight, not far from the glowing lights of redemption, in the darkness past midnight. The air is thick with the sounds of night insects and the occasional cry of a distant coyote or the hoot of a hidden owl. High in the night sky, the nearly full moon beamed upon the desert, bringing into stark contrast of pale light and harsh shadow. Despite the searing heat of the day, the night air held a chill beneath the sky twinkling with starlight and a few wisps of clouds drifting by. It was the perfect night for an evening hike along one of the many trails that wove between the hills outside of town, allowing one to traverse the desert in illuminated beauty unhindered by the normally oppressive heat. Indeed, it was the night when the desert truly came alive and blossomed. A young man walked along the path that twisted along a small rise, the path normally ridden by bikes or horse riders in the day, but tonight he thought he was alone out there. The sense of isolation is something of a comfort, even with the lights of the city in the distance. Occasionally he paused to admire the giant pale blossoms of the towering saguaro cactuses that seemed to mimic the moon beating down on them, the dark shapes of bats fluttering between them easier to spot in the moonlight. In his pocket he had a flashlight, but with the moon shining so bright and bound to be brighter as it reached its full size over the next few days, there was barely any need for it. He kept an ear out for coyotes, but knew they were normally too skittish to bother with people. Yet, it wasn't a coyote that suddenly made him stop in his tracks as the path took him around a large mesquite tree. Something large was shifting in the moonlight, its dark form hunched over something else, the wet sounds of flesh tearing and teeth gnashing, chilling the man's blood. Fear coursed through him as his mind screamed at him, wondering if he had stumbled upon some predator in the darkness, enjoying the fruit of their hunt. Another part of him pondered if mountain lions ever got this close to town as he slowly took a step back. Even though he swore he didn't make a sound, thanks to the soft dust and sand of the trail, his heart leapt up into his throat as the shape shifted, lifting a head with a long, thin snout, dark viscera dripping from jagged teeth as it turned its head around and met the single eye, shining with reflected moonlight as it focused on him. Paralyzed with a sudden fear that made the chill night feel frigid, the man stared in shocked confusion as the beast turned and stood, pushing up from the still, partially consumed form of a person, mangled and twisted, and now stood on two legs, its body hunched forward with large clawed hands dripping with blood. Stripes crossed its hunched back as it stares down the man, a tail swaying with each approaching step. A blood-soaked hand reaches out to the man trembling in paralyzed fear as he stared into the eyes burning back into his soul, fearing those wicked claws were about to tear open his throat. But a cool, slick palm cupped his cheek and much of the side of his face, fingers gripping his head with the restrained strength he sensed could pop his skull with barely a twitch. A, the blood-soaked green leans in close to his, the stench of death thick on the breath that wafts across his face as it croaks out words that made his heartbeat pound in his ears.
Prey should run. Oh.
Welcome to the high moon.
Well,
Oh.
Okay.
bad for him.
Yeah.
Morning
Brilliant.
has come. Who wants to? It's a pretty average morning. Fred, Winifred, you'd probably be getting off work at this point in the morning. So, Carlos diner's been open for, it's 24-hour diner, but you've probably been up working there for a while. It's early-ish morning, not, a few hours after dawn.
Yep, that morning
What?
rush.
Yep. What are y'all some of do? What are some of y'all doing on just a normal day in Redemption?
What day of the week is it?
We'll just say it's like a weekday.
Okay.
I should have really thought about that, but I'm just gonna say it's like a Thursday.
Hey,
Okay,
drive
so-
into Carlos's diner. That's where I'm going.
I imagine I'm probably at work on just a normal weekday. We're heading into work.
Probably.
I would be.
No,
heading-
actually, yeah. Sorry, continue.
I'd just be heading to the diner to get food and then go home.
Yeah, I'd probably be in the diner already, eating something.
So, most of you can gather up at the diner. Hanzo, work's been kind of quiet. You haven't really had to do much. You're actually kind of been not exactly sidelined, but just not on call, it seems.
Yeah.
As in the aftermath of Dr. Porter's escape and then death, a different agent was assigned to it. So you've had basically free time to yourself. But
Yeah, I would say he's been spending his free time checking up on Soda.
actually,
Aw.
Soda and his mother have actually taken a trip to go visit family in Phoenix. So, but he has been keeping in contact.
Good.
Like because most of the family came in from Phoenix when dealing with the funeral, so they went back with them to spend more time with the family. Where most everyone else is.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been keeping contact with them, and still a rough time. You get the sense, but you get the sense that they're doing as well as they can be. And
Yeah.
Soda, there was actually one night he did have to call you, late night, saying that he woke up remembering some of the stuff that happened, but you were able to, talk to him and calm him down.
Mm.
Seems he's still remembering getting glimpses of, but he was not the one in control.
Oh.
Yeah, that sort of stuff, yeah, it sticks with you for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, while Connor's not, so players know, Raven has stepped out of the game. Not players, but our audience. Raven stepped out of the game. Connor's still around for plot reasons if I ever need him. But we'll just say that Connor has also been helping out because of shared circumstances. So, Hanzo, that Connor's been helping him out.
Good.
Yeah, so we'll just say like most everyone's at the diner, it seems.
Carlos.
Yep.
Carlos.
Yes, Fred.
I've come up with a new hit song.
Have you now?
Okay, I think it's gonna be big. Okay, you ready to just prepare yourself?
Mhm.
Okay. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. Then it goes on like that.
Not bad. Not bad. Can't wait to see how
Fred
much more
Art
you do.
going to be becoming a fucking singer-songwriter?
No, I think the arc is gonna that if this led anywhere, it would be to someone stealing the song from him.
Oh no!
Remember, Fred is occasionally right.
Fred was made to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I would never
Universe's
use-
punching bag.
I would never use my knowledge of the 90s to make him successful.
Oh no!
How?
I would use my knowledge of the 90s to tear away his joy. There was this long-faced guy at the bar the other night. He was really digging it. Real sad sack, though. It's had a depressing energy.
Yeah, you know that saying a blind squirrel is right twice a day? Fred is that
No.
squirrel.
Oh, what?
Or
Never
I can't
heard that, actually.
remember the fucking the original way it's put, but I think you know like the
A broken clock is
intent.
right twice a day?
a broken clock. Fuck.
Where
A
did you
blind
get
squirrel!
I
No.
don't fucking know.
Blind
I like
squirrels?
that better.
Yeah, blind squirrels are right twice a day. The rest of the time it can fuck off.
I like that better, today. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Fred is that squirrel.
Thought that was Hanzo making a joke about like since he's from Japan not understanding some idioms.
Oh, that's so
No,
funny.
I'm sorry. That's just me being an idiot. That would have been funny though.
I'm sorry, that was great.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got a good hit there, bud. But how do you plan on producing that song or getting it to somewhere where somebody can produce that song?
Put the cart before the horse here. I gotta make up the rest of the lyrics first.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, hey, it sounded good. Maybe you should think of a career as singing and songwriting.
Yeah.
Good to have a genuine hit right there.
Mm-hmm. I know a guy named Greg who made it big off of one song.
Did he now?
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
What song was that?
Don't know, something about hot dogs or wherever. They're a cool band, though.
Never forget I asked anything ever in my entire life.
Listen, Greg's a good guy. Has a nice wife who's really into rocks, minerals, that kind of thing.
This Greg fella sounds nice. I should meet him sometime.
You should. He lives by the beach.
Looks around in
Racking
Arizona.
my brain trying to figure out where this is going.
I'm just looking around and it's like we're in Arizona. Where's the beach?
Let me know which beach, and I'll make sure to swing by and say hi sometime.
Yeah, I guess you could say he's a universal man.
Oh, right, because
I'm
all
confused.
sewers are connected to other sewers. That's how you just go and pop over and visit him.
A Greg universal man who's
Oh.
familiar with gyms.
Shady.
I still don't get it.
Well,
A good old Stephen Universe. Indeed.
Oh, Greg Universe! I get it.
Yes. Oh.
Sorry, it's been so long since I thought about that show in the context of other human beings.
Oh my god, yeah, it's it's a real thing for rocks, huh?
that's a real thing for rocks.
Oh my.
So, okay, so having an average breakfast, or nightcap in terms of the night shifters, but you see, walking in a familiar trio. You actually see the trio of the Falcon Lake Witness. Gail, you, Estella, what? Can't remember her full name. It was Gail, Estelle, and Darius, the trio that you had actually talked to Carlos. And as they walk in and go to find themselves a booth, you see Gail actually start trying to wave you over, Carlos.
Okay, seeing that, he's gonna make sure he moseys his way over and is like, "Morning, guys. How's it going?
Good. And Carla walks up and she goes, regulars? And they go, yep. And she just walks off just very quickly, to dealing with the rush. But Gail goes, so had a little bit of luck salt cracking that nut that you gave us.
Oh, did you know?
Yeah, the encryption on those things are quite intense. So it was a effort just trying to find the right program and tech or scrambling together the right tech for an interface. But you got a few things out of it that might be a little interesting. And well, or rather, I've pulled some files, but they're still encrypted, but they are in the process of being decrypted, and some of the stuff is already showing to be interesting. Like there was mention of she kind of nods to one of the TVs that playing the news. It's just a random news thing about random event in town, but she goes on the news of a few days ago there was that thing about a doctor with the biker gang.
Mm-hmm.
He was mentioned in her notes, or he's mentioned in the notes.
Oh, that is something.
So we're still, it's only like partial data, but only getting a few things. Like it's just a lot of it seems to be technical stuff, and she kind of gestures to, which one was it? Sorry, I'm trying to look up which one was whose specialty.
No worries.
No, actually, it would be her. Gail's like, a lot of it is stuff dealing with genetic stuff, dealing with she kind of just gestures vaguely in the direction of pluripotent. She's like, crazy gene modification stuff.
That, given where I got that PC, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. But any information
Yeah.
is better than what we had before, so.
Yeah, and there was also something kind of worrying, and it's actually Darius who leans forward, the guy of the trio. He goes, "Yeah, turns out there was something in what looked to be a part of a log or a journal that she was keeping. She said she shipped off specimens to her partner or to her associates
Yeah.
whenever she was growing."
Ugh, that's not fun. Okay. I don't want to have to deal with that again.
They're like all looking at you expectantly, like something about hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all comes back to the heart.
Yeah, it was something about Project Rapace Corday, which and Estella pipes up. She goes, "Yeah, I think that's like sloppy Latin for ravenous heart."
Yeah. The lady that we were working on was working on some experiments with hearts and some unusual manners.
Interesting that you guys want to get to the heart of the matter.
I'm trying to. I'm cheating.
Tommy! These are the fellas that I gave our associate we met out in the cabin their computer to decipher. They're giving me some information.
Oh, cool. Like what?
That doc that died, that you guys went and talked to, apparently was working with her. And they shipped specimens somewhere.
And Darius goes, there was another name that got brought up, and that's usually circles around pluripotent and the conspiracies that surround pluripotent. A group called Simulacra. Something about another, or rival corporation or a shadowy group that's like delving into genetic research that Pluripotent is very much either not into or just not publicly announcing.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And Gale goes, well, the machine's still chugging along trying to crack through it, but trying to design an interface between an analog interface and a neurosyn data bank, it takes a bit of time.
Oh, I can imagine. Any information you have is perfect, and for the time being, keep it between us. Post, keep it.
I'm
Putting
not
it.
posting any of this stuff on the web yet. This is stuff that would get us black bagged.
Yeah.
And body bagged.
This is the kind of stuff where people end up kind of missing if they get too talkative about it. So, when you can get done what you can get done, bring it all to me, preferably physically. I'm a little old school, I know, but every help and bit is appreciated.
And Darius kind of elbows Gale. He's like, see, I told you this was serious. And she goes, I didn't say it wasn't serious. I'm just... she rolls her eyes, and it seems like they, just friendly bickering they always seem to have. But, Estella goes, well, we'll make sure that everything's kept hush.
Good. Oh, and by the way, this is Tommy. I have a feeling he knows more than any of us, but he's not talking, so it's whatever.
The trio kind of look to you, Tommy. There's varying levels of skepticism.
Just shrugs. Yeah.
He's fun. We keep him around because he's fun, except for the incident.
What incident?
You were there. You remembered. With the ranch.
Oh, by the way, do you have any ranch, Carlos?
No.
Don't bring it up.
Yeah, you brought it up, Greg.
Oh, I know. Carlos hates it. Gray thinks it's hilarious.
Don't worry, I got some. And Tommy just pulls out a thing of ranch and starts drinking.
I hate
A horrifying habit. Yeah.
Winifred just gets up and leaves when you start doing that.
So, Olivia, you're off at work.
Uh-huh.
Shifting scenes.
Thank God.
Hey, it was a good transition. I was looking for a point to transition to this, but so you've been a pretty typical day at the preserve. There's so in the few days since, have you talked to Lucia about Itzel?
Yes.
Lucia says, always looking for, accomplished, mechanics, because even beyond, she goes, if she knows other mechanical knowledge that would be helpful elsewhere on the preserve, she'd be interested. So you have said they are going to do an interview eventually, but Itzel, she has been busy actually at her normal work, which, night shift driving a forklift at the Pluripotent warehouses, basically, with the other night shift vampires.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I was just trying to say, because I listened to the previous episode and remember that was a thing you're going to do. But so that's in motion. We'll handle that later. But fairly typical day, going around helping feed and water the various animals. When your walkie crackles and it, with George's voice going, Olivia, got another pickup for you.
Hello? What's up?
Hey, got a pickup for you. Seems something got a farmer's sheep.
Ah, shit.
Probably a coyote. And
Probably, but probably best that I
well,
get out there.
this is, and when he tells you who it is, it's not. I don't have an actual name for this random farmer, but he goes, "This isn't. You know, this isn't the first sheep they've lost to coyotes because they they just seem to forget to lock them up at night in the pens.
Come
It's
on,
just more like,
guys.
yeah, it's kind of that attitude. It's just like, oh, come on, do we have to like step in here? Come on, but so
I let
yeah,
them
and he
free
goes,
range as nature intended.
Because, well, they're claiming that they are locked up, but you know how things go. Just you gotta
Yeah,
pick it up, make sure there's no pathogens. You know the deal.
yeah. I'll head over.
Okay. So wouldn't
Address. Da,
take
da,
too
da.
long with your. What's that?
Yeah, address. Get to see address. Da, da, da.
Yep. So it wouldn't take too long to drive your truck over there. Now mostly repaired with the bullet holes, but you can still see like spots where the holes were welded shut if you look.
Yeah. I, I, I had some good help getting repaired. Luckily.
Yep. So you're driving out, and as you drive up to this farming area, and it's one of the ones that's, closer to the edge of the desert, as you see, as you start approaching this neighborhood, you actually see a few cop cars and then a few more of the sheriff's deputies, the sheriff's department.
Oh,
And
okay.
you pull up to one of the farms, and you actually meet the farmer who's kind of standing outside looking at these cops as they start going out into the desert in a different direction. And he's like, oh yeah, sheep's in the back, and he's just kind of watching curiously, and you see like some of the other people in the neighborhood are also kind of watching.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Livia gives that a weird look too.
yeah,
Hey there.
he goes, hey, and it looks to be actually, it's not even the farmer, it's like his teenage son.
Oh shit.
And he's like, yeah, back here. And he seems kind of sheepish. He goes, as he starts leading you back, he goes, I swear I locked the gate, but it was
Yeah,
open when
I've been out here before. You guys really need to get better about that. They're not dogs. You can't expect them to take care of themselves like that.
he kind of shoots you this look of like teenage like frustration of an adult telling him what to do, but also I'm just this like, but you've had this expression before. It's like, I know.
Yeah, I've had this expression. She looks back at him. Well, this isn't the first time I've had to come here.
I know, my dad's an idiot. I'm the one who has to lock him up every day, and then when he's the one, anyways, it's over here. And he's just like frustrated now, and he's just like points, and that you
Where
do
is your dad?
see. Well, I don't know. He's in town. And
Well,
he kind of.
tell him that next time this happens, he's getting a piece of my mind, and he doesn't want that. And then I
Like,
see
he's
the
like-
sheep,
Huh?
and then I see the torn up sheep.
Yeah. Yeah, and from as you approach, yeah, it definitely looks like some either one or two things got to it. It's looking at it, it looks like an animal attack.
Well, I'm gonna, get my gloves on, put on, a mask, and I'll just take, look, see if there's anything out of the ordinary.
As you're looking at it, I'll just say that you're pretty well versed with animal wounds.
Yeah.
While you definitely realize that there are bites torn out of it. What you realize is that Oh, excuse me. It wasn't a bite that seemed to take it down, as it looks like its throat was slashed by what looked to be claws, like a claw slash, or like multiple claws, and you're like, oh, mountain lion maybe? That's weird. Normally they like bite and crush something's neck, but this looks like
And they wouldn't leave it
something's.
here.
Yeah, and as you're looking, you're like, oh no, this thing was also disemboweled. You're like something slashed across its belly with a claw.
So
And so it's
is
you're
there
just
more
all of a sudden
like
you're like,
left?
this is not coyote or
Yeah,
mountain lion.
is there more left here than there should be? Like, does this look like it was like eaten, or was it look like it was just killed for the
Yeah.
sake of it?
No, like there's gnawed marks that you see, like looks like one of the legs has been torn off and eaten, or like you find the hoof nearby. Not to get super gross and
Yeah,
detailed.
I think that's enough detail. I gotcha.
Yeah, you realize it was killed by something with claws, but then eaten.
Okay, so it was eaten. That's a little better.
And you're not sure if maybe coyotes came by and found it and scavenged some of it, because that's fairly typical thing. Scavengers
Yeah.
find something that goes. And the kid, as he's standing back, or the teenager, he's like, "Yeah, I noticed it when I woke up because I saw some of the big condors fluttering around it."
She looks up and like looks for the condors.
You actually do see not one of the big condors, but you do see what looks to be like one of the buzzards, or like
Okay.
some kind of smaller bird. Yeah, there's like a vulture kind of just standing off to the side. I don't know what breed it would be exactly, but it's not one of the big condors. But it is just kind of like sitting up on one of the fence posts, just kind of on the other end of the property. It's not getting close, but it's definitely watching. Like, you'd think it probably annoyance that you're taking a good meal like that away.
She gives the condor a little salute. Sorry.
Nature's cleanup crew.
Sorry.
Condor, remember your sarcastic salute. There will be
Sorry.
consequences.
Sorry, but this is not sanitary here. All right. Are you sure this
Condor
was a coyote?
sequences.
Eh.
Are you sure this was a coyote?
And he shrugs, he goes, I don't know, I didn't see it die, I just woke up and it was already dead. I didn't even hear a commotion last night or anything.
You didn't hear anything?
I mean, I was asleep. But
Yeah,
normally, he kind of frowns and he goes, yeah, that is weird. Like, when the coyotes do come by or they get spooked, they're noisy. They start bleating, but it was weird. I didn't really hear anything.
All right.
Yeah. The big
Good
flat
to know.
open desert, screams of bloody murder tend to carry far.
I'll take care of this. You get
Who's
back
ever heard
inside.
a hare get taken by a coyote? You know what that sounds like from a long way away.
But you get back inside. I'll take care of this.
Nods and goes inside. Relieved that he doesn't have to, interact with people anymore. Seems to be
I thought you were
moody
gonna say
teenager.
relieved he doesn't have. I thought you were gonna say relieved he doesn't have to interact with the corpse, but I forgot he's a teenager. He probably wants to interact with me even less than a corpse.
Well, you were just chastising him about something that he seems really frustrated with his dad with his dad. So
Yeah, and as he's going. Remember to tell your dad what I said.
yeah, Mom's already gonna chew him out. And he disappears inside. So you get the sheet bagged up, and as you're walking out back to your truck with the remains, you did a look around, didn't see any significant pieces that were missing. No tracks or anything besides everything it looked like normal tracks that would be from the farm or the animals around it.
Okay.
And
Were
that
there
was the
any-
thing. It was on the inside of the fenced in area. and it
Was
wasn't
there
like
any
outside.
weird human tracks like that?
No, it
looked
just looks like
like
work boots that like you would probably see on a farmer, or someone who just like sneakers and stuff. Didn't
okay.
no like bare feet or anything. You just see like scuffed
Hey.
footprints.
She like as she's going by, she like offhandedly like knocks on like a window or something. I got it. I'm gonna head out of here.
The back door pops open, and you see like kind of a tired looking middle aged woman. She goes, "Oh, thanks."
Oh. Hey, this is going to be a really weird question, but your husband does he just like have your typical work boots? They're pretty normal.
Yeah, I mean, I bought them myself for him.
All right. I don't know. Just you make sure you tell him to make sure he closes this stuff up because this isn't the first time I've had to be out here.
She kind of gets like this hardened look in her eyes, but for a moment, you realize you think she might be mad at you, but then she goes, "Oh, I'm going to definitely be reminding him. Each lost sheep is, lost,
This
lost
lost money.
profit
Well,
for,
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes, yeah, she goes, these aren't food sheep. These are wool sheep. We need to keep them nice and healthy.
Yeah. And if you can, just maybe replace the lock there. Get a better one, just so this nothing can knock it over or whatever.
Yeah, so
Someone-
I'm definitely gonna. We're definitely gonna have to take a look at this because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and she gets a little closer and like lowers her voice. I don't want to freak you out, but something's off about this.
She kind of frowns and she kind of glances back inside and then steps outside, closes behind her. She goes, "Do you think it has to do with why the cops are going out into the desert?"
You know that you mentioned that. I maybe it could be something escaped from the superorganism. It could be this isn't a chupacabra. Definitely not. That there wouldn't be so much blood everywhere.
Her eyes go wide in alarm when you say that. She goes, "I knew that was a bad thing to move out here when I married him, but
No, don't wait. Hey,
they come out."
This is my job. I deal with this stuff all the time. I know the stories are scary that the things come out of the superorganism all the time, but honestly, it is extremely rare. It does not happen very often. And if they do, you have people exactly like me to deal with them. So it is not as scary as it sounds. And honestly, a happy chupacabra is actually extremely cute.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, the only chupacabras I've seen actually are at the stuffed ones at the museum, and the ones on the cartoons that kids like.
Yeah, the cartoon is probably a good, obviously it's cartoon, but like, it is entirely possible for there to be perfectly happy and satisfied chupacabra. It's just that, when they get out, they don't get as much food as they need. And that's usually just, a missing animal or two, which is as normal as anywhere else. People are just, it's just nature. It's not as bad as
She's nodding along.
Yeah. I'm sure have you done this in other places?
I
Okay,
wasn't a
have you
farmer
farmed
until I
another-
married him and then moved out here.
Okay, well, I can guarantee that
I'm not-
this kind of thing
wasn't expecting
happens
to give
with.
so much backstory to this random farming family.
Oh no, yeah, me neither. I'm just worried about this woman now because something that's not a coyote or two got into her fucking where she keeps animals. That's concerning, and Olivia's like concerned. Yeah, it's not as scary as it seems, and the superorganism is a beautiful thing, but it's just like anything else in nature. You have to treat it with respect.
They call it a beautiful thing. There is this look of like, okay.
Hey, have you ever seen a full-fledged wolf?
She's not sure where this is going, and
Huge creatures. Honestly, they you look at a dog, you even look at a big dog, and then compare it to a wolf, nowhere near the same. They can be legitimately frightening. But they are just animals.
Right.
It's the same thing. You take take the right precautions like you would any animal. You work with things like cows. You take the proper precautions, you get along just fine, and you can even make a living off of it. But you need to respect it as you would anything else.
Okay. And she's like nodding, not sure where this is going. Okay,
Just my
family.
opinion, don't be frightened by living so close to the super organism. There it is. It is not as scary as it seems. I promise. Just occasionally we got to deal with some animals that get out.
Right.
And I don't even know that that's what this is. I just, it's my job to take care of this stuff. So I'm just considering the different possibilities it could be.
I do appreciate the warning.
Here. She
Yeah.
scribbles down her number. If you're ever worried about
You would
something,
have there would be like cards for the preserve.
Okay, and she pulls out a card. See, I work for the preserve. I deal with animals specifically. I have pretty much my whole life. She hands her the card. If you're ever concerned or have any questions, do not hesitate to call. Okay?
Basically goes, all right, thank you.
Yeah. So say something to your husband, like I said, because this isn't the first time I've had to be out here. Get her maybe a better lock on there because,
yes.
A particularly determined group of coyotes or whatever aren't just gonna let a simple lock stop. And I will get out of your hair.
Okay. And
Olivia, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Olivia. And she gives you a randomly generated name, and goes, excuses herself, and she goes back inside, allow you to haul out the sheep.
Yeah.
And you take it out to your truck, and you see down the road, you actually recognize one of the officers as Detective Bentley, as he's kind of sitting in his car, but the door's open. And you see him talking on the radio. That's inside his car.
She puts the remains in the back of her truck, and she glances around and shrugs and starts walking over.
And he's talking to someone in dispatch, just going "Yep, got him bagged. Scenes being canvassed." And he kind of notices the shadow of you approaching, turns around, and he's like, "Oh, all right, gotta get back to it. I'll check back in with anything else to report." And clicks the radio off, and he goes, "Olivia, what are you doing here? You stalking crime scenes now?"
She gives a 2-figured salute. I don't know. Are you stalking animal deaths?
Animal death.
Yeah.
And this seems to get his attention as he steps out of the car.
Yeah, a shredded sheep. Call said it was a coyote, but I'm not so sure.
And he's like, "Do you have it? Did you already bag it up? Where is it?"
I've got it bagged. It's in the back of my truck. I'm gonna take it to the preserve, make sure there's no diseases or anything. I did, take a look and everything, so I can tell you what I found.
I have to take that from you, but here. Let's go take a look at that. I'll take a look.
All right. So she'll go back over.
Frowns as he's looking back to where some of the other officers are. They're milling about.
Yeah.
You do see what looks to be one of the vans. It's the crime scene team.
Yeah. So I guess they're walking. She's I don't think this is a coyote.
That would make things easier, but
tell me about it. It would make my job a hell of a lot easier. And she starts showing them see here, this isn't teeth mark. These aren't teeth marks. These are claw marks, which isn't a coyote thing. It could be a mountain lion, but they wouldn't have left it like that. They'd have taken it with them, and they would have used their jaws on the neck. These are
Yeah.
like, are
He's
they very like,
he's
are they
taking
like
down
really
notes in
thick
a little
claw
notepad.
marks, or
What's that?
are they like really thick claws?
It's been a little too chewed on to really tell. It's just by the shape of them that you could tell. It's like
Okay.
this has definitely been scavenged. It looks like, and the fresh wounds are usually the first things to get chewed on by scavengers because it's already an open wound to get into.
Noted.
But it's a little hard to tell without like thorough examination. You can't really do that here in the back of your truck.
Yeah.
One of the techs back at the preserve would probably be able to, like, when they inspected the Javelina corpse. But
Okay.
he's
Preserve
making notes and goes,
probably.
that's
Hmm?
what's that?
You first.
And he goes, this is very interesting. And might give a how long ago would you say this died? And by your estimate, you'd say it probably died probably in the middle of the night, just going by like rate of decay.
Yeah, from the way I found it, how like everything was smelling and everything. I'd say it happened last night. Especially because the family, they nothing. Everything was fine yesterday, and they didn't. The weird part is they didn't hear anything over the night, but they found it in the morning, which means it definitely happened at some point during the night. But coyotes would have made noise. You ever heard a coyote when they're going after something?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I grew up here, used to go camping, used to hear them all the time.
Yeah. I've been here my whole life, so I know. I know how that be.
You're both locals.
Yeah.
Goes, well, that would definitely line up with the timeline. I mean, you didn't hear that.
So
that's supposed to be discussing.
Yeah.
Although he kind of sighs as he looks at his notebook and he goes, well, knowing that you were friends with Agent Hanzo, you'll probably learn some of this anyways. And he goes, kind of glances back and he goes, found a pluripotent employee out in the desert, not far from here.
Oh, a pluripotent employee.
And that's what his ID said in his pocket.
What was the ID? What's his name?
That's something I can't tell you exactly.
All right.
Victim protection stuff, but
yeah, of course. Was his neck slit? Could you tell?
Wounds are not dissimilar. In addition to the partially consumed state. But you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah. I'm just cooperating with the local police. That's fine. I just happen to be witness to something that is important to your case, so I'm sharing what I know.
Yes, and thank you for the assistance. And he kind of gets this like almost dry look of amusement. He goes, "Thank you, Citizen Olivia, for your cooperation."
You're welcome, Officer Bentley. She gives the 2-finger salute again.
All right. Well, I need to get back to it. If
yeah, hey.
I need to reach you.
Weird.
If I need to reach you, I can catch you through the preserve, right?
Of course. Also, okay. Probably Hanzo, if he gets called in on this. Because pluripotent makes it probably in his wheelhouse.
Well, considering he's been sent to deal with things tied to them recently. I was just making an assumption. But
Yeah, but
either way,
you
I
know,
need to get going.
yeah.
And that is starting to smell really bad, so why don't you bag that back up? I'm going to go.
All right. See you later, officer.
And he just departs. He goes back to talking with the other sheriff's deputies.
She watched him go and just like, oh, big old claws. Hmm.
And oh my god, I forgot something that we had to do. It's the start of a new arc.
Oh yeah, shit.
Oh,
Monster of the
it
Week.
is.
Shit.
So
Hey,
as the scene
Hanzo.
transitions, we'll just do this. Yeah, who wants to start off?
Hanzo, what skill
Or actually,
should I mark?
or TT, is it that the keeper goes first and assigns everyone?
Well, everyone assigns each other one, and then the keeper assigns everyone a second one. Or the keeper assigns everyone one, and then everyone assigns everyone else one.
Yeah.
Either way, so that you have one skill that's like one trait that's assigned by the keeper, and one that's assigned by one of your fellow players.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure who went first, but might be easier if I just went first down the line.
Fair.
Sure thing.
So, Carlos,
Yes.
your assigned is cool.
Let me see how bad that is. Okay.
Anzo, yours is tough.
Radio.
Olivia, yours will also be tough.
Okay.
Tommy,
Yeah.
yours will be charm.
Okay.
Fred, that will be cool.
Okay.
And Winifred, also cool.
Okay.
Assigning a lot of cools. So,
Well, you need to keep cool in the
Who wants-
desert.
yep. So, next step, someone assigns someone else, and then daisy chain from there.
Hey, Hanzo,
Huh?
what skill?
What's the one you already have marked?
Tough.
Charm.
Damn it.
Well, I'm trying to help you level it because a few times you run into charm situations. You might as well get experience.
Charm is my worst stat. I avoid using it. See, Zoe's really good at charm. I avoid using charm with Olivia whenever
Yes.
I can.
Gary, play Despacito.
Now
Alright, so
playing
it's your turn.
Despacito.
Your turn.
Carlos,
Yes.
what should I mark?
You should mark weird.
Very well.
Hey, Fred,
Yeah.
pick one for me.
Sharp.
Sure. I changed nothing on the character sheet.
Who wants to give old Freddy a nice little thing to aim for?
I will.
Yeah, give it to me.
What do you have highlighted already?
I have cool highlighted because if there's one thing people think of when they think of Fred Klutzman, it's cool.
Let's go tough.
Oh, I suck at that. It's great. Actually, oh my god, I don't. I have a +1 at tough? How did that happen?
Level up.
Must have just been the stat loadout.
Yeah,
I'm hitting the gym, getting swole.
Cool is the one that I have a -1 to.
For me,
So
that's
that's fun.
charm.
all right. Winifred.
And who's giving... Oh, yeah. Continue.
Let's see here. You already have charm, right?
Yeah.
Then I will give you sharp.
Okay.
That
Okay.
means Olivia picks for Winifred to finish it off.
I believe so.
Yeah, Winifred. Take tough.
God damn it!
Is that your worst stat?
I have a -1 in that because I use weird
my
to kick
God.
people's ass. Jesus
Wait,
Christ!
you're like Zoe. Her tough was terrible, so we both used weird.
God, fuck's sake!
God damn it.
Never using that stat.
Do you want to change it?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny, yes. I got my worst
I mean,
stat.
that's why I didn't give Hanzo weird at first, but then, he got it anyways.
The funny thing, or because I noticed, is like, hey, I'm not going to be using a lot of magic. I did look it up. There is a trust your gut mechanic that works off weird.
What's that?
I am just avoiding my weird entirely. Because I do not intend to
Trust your gut. It's right here.
I do not intend to
Oh, I
become
like this. So, trust your gut. When you consult your instincts about what to do next, roll plus weird. 10 or more, the keeper will tell you where you should go. Wherever that is, it will be important. You get a +1 on going on the way to this place. On a 7 to 9, the keeper will tell you a general direction to go. Take +1 forward as you explore that. On a miss, your instincts lead you into danger.
Yeah. Early in this campaign, I was kind of looking into options to use weird because, yeah, I'm not a magic guy.
What about the alternate weird basic moves?
Yeah.
It's
So-
come in handy.
Yeah, that's not something anyone can do unless you take that as a level up. But I would be open to that.
Yeah.
I forgot I had that PDF. Okay, I'll have to look at that again later. So, oh yeah, I forgot one of the alternatives is weird science.
Weird science.
That's definitely something that would work. That would actually fit perfectly in this setting if anyone eventually took that. But,
Noted.
I mean, you've already dealt with one mad scientist.
All right, time to send Tommy to medical school.
Wash your hands, you.
It adds character, as Fred demonstrated.
Those characters, you mean like characters from Osmosis Jones or Inner Space? Not the kind of character you're thinking. Anyways,
I mean, Tommy's
So-
small enough; he could do it.
don't make fun of the tiny man.
He'll kick
So-
you in the shins or the knees. Not sure if he's tall enough to kick you in the shins.
Look, I made my character short so he could be made fun of.
Sometimes you
Lizard
gotta
Day.
have fun at the
That's
mall
kinda
man
funny.
hobo.
Oh
My
yeah.
character is.
Speaking of, so Gray, is that World Lizard Day today?
Yes, I believe so.
Huh. I should have had the reveal of the River Soar taking Tommy's stuff for today then. But yeah, Tommy, that's also something you encountered last time, was your stash got raided by what turns out to be a local cryptid, the Arizona River Soar,
Aw.
a bipedal lizard that a lot of people think is like a dinosaur remnant. But as you got a good look at it, you realize it is a lizard evolved convergently to almost look like a theropod. And
was
it
eating
really
my
liked your
donuts.
snacks.
My donuts. Tragedy.
If you've told anyone about that.
Have you?
I probably told Olivia. Be like,
Oh shit. That would
Is it-
change everything.
There's a fucking weird lizard in the sewers.
There's what? You weird lizard.
Like a monitor lizard, but on its hind
Oh,
legs.
hold on. Before this continues,
Yeah.
leave it.
Yes.
You hear this as you walk into the diner after dropping off the body at the preserve and walk into the diner, and you hear Tommy telling Carlos or someone about this, and you walk in on this. There, we are now
Yes.
caught up. Scene transition.
Yeah, we're
Here
not-
we go.
You're not together. Yeah, Olivia just like zooms over. What's this about a big monitor lizard in the sewers?
There's a 3-foot-tall lizard that walks like a man, and it stole my snacks.
But it
What?
didn't steal your ranch.
Nope.
No,
The
wait,
most
what's that?
important thing was saved.
Wait. Oh, there shouldn't be any monitor lizards in the sewers.
Tell that to him.
Oops. Hey, Carlos.
Yes.
One of the attractions in your ride is what looks to be like a tiny little raptor, like movie dinosaur raptor. In the ride, described as the Riversaur.
Are you
Very
sure?
inaccurate to what Tommy is describing.
Are you sure you weren't just in the ride by accident?
Nope. Oh,
There's
where I ended
Okay, well if there's something living in the sewers, I need to get it out of there.
Good luck.
Yeah,
I met it.
has its own little location it goes to.
When I was in
Yeah.
New York, there were alligators in the sewers all the time. Pesky little buggers.
That's I was gonna say that's a myth, but then I remember what we just did, so never mind.
I mean, like, I'm almost 100% sure it's because people flush them down there. You'd be surprised how deep the sewers go.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
is a myth, and sometimes it's not.
That's what she caught herself.
You know, that whole thing about every myth has a kernel of truth.
Carlos is just
All right, Tommy. What snacks did it take?
Hearing this.
Basically, all of them.
Yeah, it
Were
tore
they, like-
open the chips, it tore open the bag of mini donuts, it ate all the
likes-
jerky, it was eating some of the candy bars when you eventually found it. It was
likes
like
sweets.
gorging itself.
Yet for whatever reason, the Marmite was left alone.
because it's
The
Marmite.
what?
Marmite.
Fucking
That's
Australian.
Marmite.
It's one of the many sins the British have unleashed upon the world.
Wow. Oh,
Doesn't stand
I
up to
thought it
Vegemite.
was just because Tommy's Australian.
I thought that was those cannons they used against Mogara.
You've seen the Mysterians?
Oh man, my kid loves the Monster Madness. On TNT?
Aww.
Huh. I don't know. I can't afford TNT, so.
Yeah, I can't either anymore.
Slurping my
No, it's not
coffee.
TNT. It's It's nitro.
Oh,
So I'm gonna mark that, Tommy. I'm gonna mark that on my to take care of later because there's something else going on.
Mhm.
Is Hanzo here?
Yeah, he's
Could be.
he's drinking his morning coffee or what have you.
Hanzo.
He's been listening to the conversation. He perked up for a moment when kaiju were mentioned.
Oh. You're probably gonna have some work soon.
Sipping his coffee, kind of giving you the look of go on.
She like lowers her voice. A pluripotent guy's been killed by something that is unidentified. right near a place where I was going to take care of a killed sheep that was killed by something unidentified.
Assuming they don't want to keep me in the doghouse.
I mean, well, you know, have you still been in the doghouse?
There's been some work that I wasn't called in for.
That's weird.
They are a massive multi-million dollar organization. It wouldn't surprise me if they had more than one person.
They do. But it's I know my superior, and he's been pretty quiet.
Well, if you want to get back in his good side, I guess you could, you know, do a little solving on your own.
I could. Drinks a little more coffee.
I mean, you know, it's a footer guy, so that might be enough where they call you anyway. But you know, just weird.
We'll see.
We'll see. But I'm gonna tell you what I found anyway, all of you. It was a dead sheep, but it was off. The way it was killed isn't right for a coyote. It's not right for a mountain lion, even. It's not right for a chupacabra. Its throat was slit with claws. Which I don't know.
A
if
bear,
any of
maybe?
you- Do we have any bears here?
Not endemically. The preserve has, cloned bears in the past, but currently there's the only bear that would be on the preserve is like a juvenile black bear.
Okay. No, we don't have any bears. Like we don't have any
And
local
they're
bears.
they're in
We-
one of the they're one of the interior enclosures because that it was like they were brought there because it was sick from another zoo, so they got shipped there from like the Phoenix Zoo or something. You know, it's not
Okay.
like
Yeah, no, we don't have any. We don't have any local bears.
There are actually bears in Arizona.
it's just not to the valley. They're just not endemic to this valley.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
We don't
they're
have any
more of
local
the
bears.
northern forests. Although sometimes they do come down into the desert areas.
Would they be called
Looking for food.
Barazonians?
Okay, so there is actually one of those bear preserves where you can drive through and like look at bears, and
Mhm.
it's called Bearizona.
Good.
And whenever you're driving up north to one of the other northern cities, on the main highway that goes up the heart of Arizona, you'll just see sign after sign of them. So
Okay. Yeah, we don't have any local bears though, unless you count the gay bar. But we just don't have any. We have
there's that.
preserve.
I should have clarified. Yeah.
And even at the preserve, we've only got one right now, and it's in an inner enclosure, so it's not getting out anytime soon.
I wasn't saying it was from you guys. I was just saying, you know,
I know.
I heard
I'm
up
just,
north they got bears, so.
You said bear, so I'm giving you the info on local bears.
Okay.
Which reminds me, actually, did the night waitress ever call me?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
Sad.
I mean, it's whatever. She wasn't into it. It's fine.
Okay, what's
You were spared the night waitress. In the night waitress.
Carlos,
Yes.
you're pretty sure the number didn't end up crumpled up and tossed into the jar that's in the back with all the other numbers and cards that she's been slipped over the time she's been working there. So it's like she wasn't like disdainful at least, but there wasn't the interest, it seems.
That's fair.
As
It-
far as
here-
you can tell, Carlos, from just context clues, it's probably the politest she's ever not responded to someone.
It's you got the nicest she's ever treated somebody who's tried to flirt with her. It's fine.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, she's not calling you.
Oh, that's fine.
To be honest with you, when I get the morning reports of what happens on the night shift, I just go, huh, neat.
Yeah. So not a bear. Well, it does sound closer, I guess, to what a bear would do. Not coyotes. Not chupacabra.
A small smile grows on Carlos's face as he remembers a moment, and he just makes eye contact with Olivia.
What?
Remember that tooth?
I was actually thinking about the tooth. Yes.
Are you telling me you think you found a were-thylacine kill?
She makes a very blank face, like she's trying very hard not to show her reaction. Maybe.
Winifred has been silently listening to this, just sipping on her new blood, and she just kind of very gently sets it down while staring off into the distance. She goes, "My time has come."
What's that, Winifred?
I'm gonna go beat the shit out of a fucking werewolf.
Okay, well, we don't know for sure it's a werewolf or aware anything yet. I've just had it on my mind since we found the fucking were-thylacine tooth.
That's fair.
If you take this drink
don't-
from me, I will kill you.
We don't know it's not a werewolf.
Yeah, it's also true.
I will never stop you from punching a werewolf in the face, Winifred. Cross
Absolutely
my heart
not.
and hope to die. I didn't know they were real until
That's a.
couple
I always
months
forget
ago.
how big their mouths can open, but then it's like, oh yeah, they're marsupials. Got the
The
got
Howling
the-
3, the marsupials, makes a really big thing of how wide their mouths can open.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it a significantly more disturbing visual than
I
a
mean-
normal werewolf.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Just as intended.
so yeah, something's fucky going on. It may be were-thylacine fucky, it might not, but I don't like it.
Okay. So, what do you want to do? Because with Hanzo not being on duty per se, we don't
We
really
need-
have.
To lay a trap for a werewolf.
He's right, we might.
Yes, thank you,
We gotta-
Dominic. That's
So
We gotta get
Yeah.
out there. We gotta figure out what werewolves like. We gotta trap it. And then Winifred gets to kill it.
Thank you, Fred.
Hey, well, it could be perfectly intelligent, in which case, if we can, catch it and, not.
You know who else was
murder
perfectly
sentient
intelligent? Hitler. We're gonna have to kill this werewolf.
beings. Okay,
God.
no,
We had to kill Hitler.
these are not the same thing. Fred.
We don't know they're not, though. What if it's a werewolf Hitler? That's like the worst thing I can think of at this moment.
If it's
I
werewolf,
think
Hitler,
hard
we
enough.
kill
I
it.
can probably think of 2 or 3 really bad B movies where that's the plot.
Yeah, hey, Fred, if it's werewolf Hitler, we'll kill it.
Yeah,
No
we
questions
better.
asked. But
Jesus.
yeah, we better, but
Oof.
As long as
And-
it's not
Carlos.
Starfish Hitler. Yes.
Around your neck, you always have your Walkman headphones just kind of around your neck?
Oh yeah, almost all the time. Do I get a new tune? Do I get a new tune?
That starts cracking along. Just starts crackling in the ears. Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
What happened
And
last time?
as you look up at the TV where the news is going, and you see it's like the forecast, and it's just like clear sky or scattered clouds for the foreseeable week. Possibility of rain in the coming weeks, and full moon for the month is coming up in 2 days.
Okay, so it's that.
It's
My
just
friend.
like the news, the weather lady for the news, and just giving the forecast for the week.
Yeah.
But the
Did
timing.
he notice that, or?
No, my headphones are very clearly playing Bad Moon Rising, despite the fact my hands are like
I meant
on the table.
TV, talking about the fucking...
like it's on enough that like people who are sitting at the counter can hear, but you see like the little graphics on the screen show it's like the full moon marker on the so if it's 2 days from now, yeah, it'd be like the full moon on Saturday night.
Olivia frowns the TV. Oh, that's concerning.
You're telling me.
You don't think we could wrap this up like before Saturday, do you?
If we don't, it's gonna be another month before we can touch it again.
We better get on this, huh?
I mean, it is what it is. Hold on a second.
I mean, I'm sure I am saying we gotta get on this and everything, but like, unless they call Hanzo in, we're off. We're not like on an official. We're not doing this in an official capacity this time.
Yep. Sorry, I had Bad Moon Rising playing a little loud. But we could try. We have a lot more questions to ask.
Yeah.
And the possibility of your funky fella being one of your coworkers is above zero.
I'm sorry, what?
And he pats her on the arm and goes to grab drinks from behind the counter.
No, come back.
Give me a second and bring him more milkshakes.
What are you accusing one of my coworkers of being?
I'm not accusing your coworkers, he says, putting down drinks. I'm not accusing your workers of being it. But up until like 10 years ago, thylacines were the way of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, and vampires live hundreds of years.
That's not how that works.
That is how that works. If this is a fairlight thylacine, it's just as likely that they could live as long as vampires do.
Yeah. Potentially, sure, but then why are they in... Do you know anybody from Australia in town?
Do you?
No, that's why I'm asking you.
Do you know every person? Do you know where every person is from just by talking to them?
No. But I also know that there's a bunch of people who were exposed to an animal that defied all natural laws to come back. In a town full of bullshit.
I'm not of the opinion that this is like...
How long ago was it that the thylacines were recreated again?
God?
You're right, actually. It's been about 10 years, about a decade. It was in the 80s. It was like one of the big things that got the preserve notoriety along with the condors, because those are two very charismatic, large charismatic animals.
About 10 years?
What's that? Yeah, about 10 years, maybe closer to 12.
I'm just saying.
It was like during the peak of pluripotent's popularity because this was like one of the projects that, helped get them a lot of goodwill and good PR.
So I'm just saying,
And
you're talking.
speaking of, there have been bears. Specifically, there have been more than a few cloned panda bears brought through the preserve and shipped elsewhere.
Yeah, but they ain't fucking slashed until somebody's throat.
So long as they didn't bring back cave bears.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, in terms of how curses work, though, like I said, I didn't realize lycanthropy was an actual thing and not just a Hollywood piece. Wasn't my field of forte. I need to do
we
more
don't know
research.
that for sure, actually, and it could be that Hitler's lying to us.
Oh my god.
In any situation,
Don't trust a word that bastard says.
I won't. From what I know, when it comes to long-range curses, they can take time to manifest. So if you're at work and someone comes in and is like, yeah, I went hiking and lost track of time, or, oh, hey, I'm having some trouble sleeping, I'm being plagued by nightmares. It's a possibility. And, like, it's not like you have wild thylacines running around. You sent them all to Australia, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it reminds me of sent them to like some zoos and stuff.
Yeah. So, like,
I don't know where every animal we found has gone to.
no, that's absolutely fair. I wouldn't expect you to. You're not a head person.
Wouldn't it be weird if there was a small population of them in Detroit now?
What?
That
Like,
would
if some
be
of the
weird.
Thylacines got waylaid and then escaped in Detroit?
Like they just take over the coyote niche?
Yeah.
Is that better or worse?
They're just there roaming some of the abandoned vestiges of industry.
That would be very weird,
Oh, shoot.
Fred.
Now I'm just picturing a post-apocalyptic thing after coyotes and dogs have unfortunately gone extinct. Possums, because they're so fucking hardy and have survived multiple mass extinctions, diversified to fill the canine niche and just coincidentally re-evolved thylacines from like Virginia possums.
I mean,
I lost them.
So, oh yeah, those bears were big. Anyways, so what are y'all doing?
So, this is gonna sound bad. There's not a great way to ask or make this out. Can we break into your work and ask some dumb questions to people?
You can't break into my work. No. But I can. You can go in and ask questions. It is, in fact, a nature preserve.
I mean, Olivia could just like bring you in to talk to her boss.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I mean, that's fair. I was just, when it inevitably comes, when your boss doesn't give forth secrets, and then we have to find more information, and it involves getting into it, I want to make sure that before we even start this out the gate, you're okay.
She has been more forthright and with me than she really has to be.
Shit, what if she's the werewolf?
Oh my god, she's not the werewolf.
At this point, I'm more worried about her unleashing some sort of like thylacine thing kind of thing that bursts from the settlers. No,
It could be any one of us. It could be me, and I don't even know it.
Fred, I'm almost 100% sure it isn't you.
Yeah.
You were passed out last night.
Devil.
You were passed out last night on the table from like 11 to 3. You got out early or something? I don't know. That's what the night waitress said.
Hold on. This is out of character. I remember seeing a comic that would be the type of werewolf Fred would be. He'd be the kind of guy who'd fall asleep on the full moon, turn werewolf in his sleep, and just keep sleeping, and then wake up the next day refreshed.
Just like, why is my bed covered in fur?
It's that pesky dog again.
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just like you just see the guy sleeping and just poof, werewolf.
Yeah, if someone could link that, please do. I could not Google it very well.
I did not see it, so I cannot acquire it for you.
But yeah, so we need to go to the preserve and ask some questions. Incidences, bite records of people who were bitten by a thylacine under a full moon 10 years ago.
In the word werewolf as many times as we can.
Olivia looks pained.
And Olivia, they were like when you dropped off the sheep, you did tell it's like take an extra look, might be, it's something's weird about it. And they're like, okay, they were
Yeah,
gonna give it a more thorough examination than they would, normally.
yeah.
So,
Look,
and you do know Lucia is in office today, or Dr. Lucia.
I can just take you guys in and ask. It's not. They didn't know where things existed until we found the tooth, and they don't still. Some of them still don't know because I didn't go around telling everyone it's a thylacine.
It's hard to know where a werewolf is. That's why they're
Also-
called werewolves.
Also, most people would look at you and think you're crazy.
Also true.
It's how I get away with so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Carolyn, and she's like taking away like plates of people's, finished meals. She goes, "Yeah, I don't believe half of the stuff he says, but the checks, they don't bounce." So
I keep the income, and that's what matters. If I tell crazy, far-stretched tales of my hikes in the desert, I tell weird, far-stretched tales of my hikes in the desert.
So yeah, I'm gonna at least hear what's up with the sheep, but I'm not gonna interrogate my coworkers on if they're werewolves or thylacines or not.
No, I'll do that. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Or we can send Tommy on them. Sick Tommy on them. It'll be fun.
No.
You're going to sick me against a werewolf?
During the day when it's a human.
No, we're not sicking you on anyone.
Wait, do you think they still have wolf teeth when they're human?
Mm.
Well, if the Wolfman is accurate, and I'm pretty sure those Universal movies they show on Nitro are pretty much entirely accurate. It would be a normal fellow, except every now and then a pentagram would appear on his hand, or on the hands of whoever he's going to kill.
Oh my
Well,
head.
would it be a pentagram because it's a thylacine instead of a werewolf?
To be honest, there's not a thylacine movie that I'm aware of, so
Oh my head.
I just know that the pentagram is the mark of the Wolfman, and if it shows up on your hand, either you're a werewolf or the werewolf's going to kill you soon. That's why Larry had to have his dad, Claude Rains, bash his head in with a cane.
That's a movie.
Yeah, but every legend has its basis in fact. That's a line from that movie.
I'm leaving now.
To the preserve.
No, I'm leaving now. My patience has run dry. I'm leaving.
Okay, we're going.
No, I'm going. You can go if you want. I am leaving with Winifred.
Why are you taking me with? I just prove his point.
You want to punch one? That's fine. You have not exhausted my patience yet. The rest of you have to get your own way there.
I have
the
a
car,
jalopy.
everybody.
Multiple
We're
people
following.
have cars.
Let's do what you want. She is not willingly taking you in her car.
We're following Olivia. Everyone, let's go.
Alright, but I'm gonna take a nap in the backseat.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a good thing you're a vampire and you can, like, deal with your lack of sleep, because good lord.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me that this is probably going to be another days-long stretch of time where I don't get to lay down.
Hey, if we can help it, I'll make sure you get some sleep if we can help it.
But I mean,
like right now,
the werewolf's probably only going to come out during the night anyway, because it's a
it's
werewolf.
true. Where's that saying?
Whatever.
You ever wonder? So, it's a were-thylacine. What happened? Yeah, no, never mind. I'm overthinking things. Let's go. Winifred and only Winifred.
It's too late. I'm getting in the jalopy and I'm following you, tailgating the
You can follow
entire
me.
way.
I'm waving
I
hi
don't
at you
care.
from inside the jalopy.
I do not care if you follow me, but I am not taking you to see my boss.
She's just not letting you in her car.
Hanzo,
Yeah.
what's up with you?
He's just been
Hanzo
finishing
and
his.
Tommy, what are you guys doing?
He's just been finishing his coffee while this conversation is going on, and just quietly just.
And Tommy has gone on to the back of Olivia's car.
Tommy!
You just look in the back and he's just in the trunk area, just like laying down, just like, hey.
Yeah, Tommy! Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Tommy just has with
Here, it's too windy while driving.
I'm not driving with him on the back of my car.
It's a truck, so he's in the truck bed.
Oh. It's illegal to drive with someone in the bed of your truck.
Not in 1993.
Oh shit, you're right.
Does the law really see hobos as people?
Oh
Wow.
no, you're right, Tommy. You can be there as long as you want.
Wow!
He's right, though. We need to protect him.
Wow.
We need to
He's
help.
an endangered species.
Take him back to the preserve.
Oh my god, we'll clone him.
Put
Let
him-
him free roam.
See, the preserve would mean he has, lodging, regular health
He's
checkups,
free-range.
food.
Tommy is free range.
That's actually a question that I'm sure has been talked about, but I can't remember if it specifically has. Have they ever tried to clone people?
Not that you know of.
So
They
you
clone
would know
blood.
that. So you would know that cloning a full ass human highly illegal. But
Okay.
cloning like organs for transplant or like skin grafts, or the cloned blood, that is legal but controlled. Mostly controlled, although there's of course black market, growers out there because the technology's out. So, but cloning a full human, highly illegal.
Okay.
Cloning a human
Although-
part by part.
Although there are exceptions for there are exceptions being made because for like not cloning like a full adult person with like forced growth, because that is actually something that has proven to be done with animals, but that comes with their own like genetic drawbacks and stuff. This is actually fairly common knowledge.
Oh my god.
And especially for like Olivia or someone who works through like Winifred. But
Scatha just pitched the best Oasis Valley spin on Frankenstein. Someone cloning people part by part and sewing the parts together.
Yep.
Modern Prometheus.
oh god.
Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
exactly what I was thinking when I said that.
I guess it would be post-modern Prometheus.
I'm gonna make the
Oh,
most
yeah.
beautiful Hollywood star, just like my vision.
I
But,
know a backup character just in case Olivia ever dies.
I'm gonna name him Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
Benny
He will
Dizzle
emerge
Hoozle.
from the goo pod and immediately get a micrometeorite driving right through his skull.
Jesus Christ.
It's me, Benedict Cumberbatch.
I couldn't help myself. I saw an opening. I'm like, yep, I'm gonna take it.
It's funny when he actually played Frankenstein's monster too.
Yeah. But so yeah, cloning an adult human is not good, but there have been exceptions made recently for cases for people who can't have kids naturally to create a child using their shared genetics. So there have actually been cases where they have grown basically test tube babies. Or children, and they've actually have developed that also has gone to like, if the mother's injured, they have made the artificial wombs, so children that are still needing development, they can keep them in a sterile, safe environment, controlled environment. And it's one of the big medical advances that Pluripotent is really proud of, because it's like, hey, benefit to the world means better PR. This is, I guess, a more cynical thing, but they're like, that's one of the things that Pluripotent promotes itself on. Is how they've helped revolutionize a lot of areas of medical care.
I mean, it's corporate, but it's still saving lives. So.
And that Dr. Lucia, because of her expertise in cloning, was probably heavily involved with that project too. Actually, no. You specifically, Olivia, would know. She helped design the cloning pods that led to that development.
Oh. Shit, okay.
Wait, she's one of the heads of... never mind. She was actually, no, it's been revealed. She was very high up in research, in one of the heads of research in Pluripotent before she left.
Yeah.
Rest of the party might not know the exact details of that, just that she used to work for Pluripotent.
Yeah, I know she says very
Unless
high
I'm
up.
misremembering or revealed, but I'm sure Maple might correct me later on in the...
Yeah, I know
comments.
because I know that her siblings are owners of the company essentially. But I don't think I ever told the rest of the party.
So, Hanzo, were you following this little convoy eventually?
No, he didn't voice it earlier, but I decided I'm just not going with the group. He'll let them do what they will, but since Olivia said, he might get called in, he's just gonna doesn't want to drive one into the be ready. Not drive one into the town and get your ass in here and immediately do a 180.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel that. So
he just takes that. He appreciates
right,
the quiet
you were in the
and
truck.
finishes his drink.
Yeah. So once they leave, it's just a normal diner. The rush has mostly passed from the morning, so it's pretty calm in there now. But when you eventually go out to your car, you do see that your car phone does have a message waiting for you.
Excellent.
And when you click it, you actually you hear that there are two messages. One of them, the first one is from Dr. Guerrero, the vampire mortician of Pluripotent. Not Pluripotent, but Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, Agent Hanzo, curious things have been happening that I would like to get your consultation on when you get the time.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably when I am not about to be asleep for several hours, so hopefully I will see you tonight. And that's all the message is. But it seemed he called you like right before, like actually not long after you went into the diner. He was probably like calling right before he was going to bed, being a vampire himself. But the second one is one from Detective Bentley. As you hear his voice go, so Agent Hanzo, and this one is only a few minutes old, goes, so Agent Hanzo, I spoke to your friend Olivia earlier today, but I was expecting to speak to you, but I'm dealing with one of your associates, an Agent Wakefield. And he kind of lowers his voice and he goes, just wanted to keep you in the loop considering what we were discussing last time. Someone that we believe was tied to Dr. Porter, we found butchered and eaten in the desert last night, or this morning. Something hunted him down in the desert. But there was also a potential witness, survivor. We're talking to him now, and I think you might be interested in hearing what he has to say as well. But again, didn't hear that from me. And the line clicks shut.
Well, sounds like I have a place to hit up.
Oh. And he goes, well, you actually, shit, I forgot some detail on that. He goes, can't talk to him yet yourself, but maybe the people at McCorrin's scrapyard might be able to give you a little more details. That's where we picked him up. What was that?
So, could you repeat what was that?
I'll try to be clear because I'm like stumbling over my words. Sorry. The witness is being talked to us now, so you won't be able to talk to them now. But you might be able to get some more information from the scrapyard, McCorrin's scrapyard, where we picked the witness up from.
Got it. I'll head that way.
You'll be departing there, and now to the convoy heading to the preserve. So you'll get there faster, or before Hanzo gets to his destination. So you pull into the preserve, live it. You leave them behind in the public parking as you go back to the employee parking or the truck bay or the workshop. You know where. Anyways. So, what are y'all doing?
Well,
Carlos is going to get out of the jalopy and be like, all right, lads, you have fun. I'm going to go play interesting businessman.
Go look at the zoo.
Tell the Moa I said hi.
I won't. It's a bird.
So, yeah, I guess it would be Tommy and Fred, unless Tommy was going with Olivia and Winifred.
Nah, Tommy's going with Fred.
Okay.
That's fair.
Those two never get up to shenanigans when they're paired up.
Nope. This can only lead to good things.
only lead to good things.
So, Olivia and Winifred, where are you going?
Well, Olivia went to the bathroom, so.
Oh. Okay, so Carlos, what are you doing?
So Carlos is going to go to the front desk because he's playing a bit now. And he's going to go, "Hi, I have a very interesting question. My name's Carlos. I run the diner and the roadside attraction next to it, down in town." He's going to pass a little business card. He's like, "So I was wondering. I had some questions about your thylacine project you did a little while ago. I was trying to find a potential new menu item and an upgrade for the ride, a little like bringing up more to modern times and what it used to be. And I was hoping I could talk to somebody
person
who
behind
worked
the
on that."
desk goes, "I'm sorry, but we cannot clone you rare animal meat."
I am not
And they just
asking
kinda-
for rare animal meat.
And they go, "Okay, good, because you would not you would be amazed how many rich assholes call us for that.
That is sad.
So
but
many people want tiger steaks."
Why would you want tiger steaks? They're carnivores. That's just going to be bad meat.
Yes, and the secretary person, they just kind of like shrug and roll their eyes. It's just like prestige.
Yeah, it sounds right. No, I was hoping I could find some more information about how the project went down, so I could build I say build, try my best to assemble a part of the exhibit to reflect that on the ride.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. I could actually get someone that's more knowledgeable on the project. That's a little bit before my time from when I started working here, but specifically the thylacine project, yeah, I could go get someone. I could call someone up.
That would be splendid. Thank you.
Yeah, and they like pick up the phone and like, "Hey, George, there's a guy here, Carlos."
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos from the diner and roadside attraction. He's here, looking to talk about previous projects. And she goes, "Okay," or hang up the phone. Like, "Okay, he'll be out in a minute."
Awesome. Thank you.
Get that done.
So, Tommy and Fred, you guys are just gonna wander the preserve. You actually do see what looks to be like, since it's a weekday, it is kind of like in zoo mode, where you do see some people. Like the parking lot was fairly full, or well, not full because it was a big parking lot, but you've seen more cars than you normally do. And you actually do see like a school bus that was parked there, and like off in the distance you see like scattered groups of kids, with parent chaperones. It looks like it was field trip day. The preserve is open to wandering if that's what the two of you guys want to do.
Check out the exhibits.
At the aminals.
Fred, lead the way.
I'm gonna be honest
And
though,
of
my
course-
goal here is to literally just meander, see what they got in case my kids ever come to visit.
I mean, you can totally.
That
do
way I
this,
can
like,
show them the cool stuff and cut out the bullshit like the petting zoo.
Yeah, I really need to
Wow.
sit down and write a list of things, of like exhibits that they would have there. But yeah, there's large open areas where some of the bigger animals, that a lot of the ones kept outside are ones you would expect to see in both like Africa or like savanna areas, or even Australia, because there is actually like an area where you do see some kangaroos, and because they're the most similar biomes, so the animals can actually exist in the Arizona environment a little bit safer or easier. But some of the more specialty ones, there are enclosures. There's like the reptile house. There's an insect house. Well, the amphibians would be in like the reptile building. There's a big aviary. There's actually a few aviary domes that are scattered about. So yeah, you guys can just peruse it. Tommy, to give one exhibit or one pen and a wide berth as you see this Muppet-looking towering thing just kind of looking at you as you walk by with Fred.
Tommy's glaring right back.
It doesn't. It seems to be behaving itself as you actually see like a group of kids like walk by and they're like, "Oh wow!" As kids are admiring it, and it doesn't seem to be bothered by them at all. It's just like once it sees you're not going to be a problem, Tommy, it turns around and like goes over to its food trough and starts scarfing like whole cantaloupes, like a horrific giant cassowary eating apples. But anyways, that was a very specific imagery. So, yeah, Olivia, now that you're back, what are you and what is Fred doing before we go back to Carlos in a second?
I want to see if they found anything on the sheep.
I'll come with her for that because
Okay, so we'll get back to you in just a second. Carlos.
Yes.
After a minute or so, or a few minutes, the waiting area is not bad. It's nice, good AC. There's like water dispenser, but you can chat with the receptionist for a bit. But eventually, a man you've actually met before, George Lyon, the sort of manager of the preserve, pops out, and he immediately recognizes. He's like, "Oh, Carlos, thought that was you."
George, how are you?
Good. So and he steps out. There's not really anyone really else in the reception area. Actually, there's like a kid who looks like they maybe got a little heat, like a heat exhausted or something, sitting there with his mom, sitting off in the reception area, just kind of, or the waiting room, just drinking water or something. But other than that, besides the receptionist, there's no one really in. And he goes, "So you're asking about our cloning projects, the thylacines?"
Yeah, the thylacines in particular.
And he does this, kind of glances at the receptionist, who's like already back busy doing paperwork typing away at the computer. He goes, "Is this about that tooth Olivia found and has been mildly obsessed with?"
A little bit. He leans in. He's like, a little bit, yeah, but like mostly, I want to make like a new menu item because she goes there all the time because it's just gonna make it funny. And I also thought maybe hey, it'd be nice to have something like a local project we did put into the ride at some point. So, 3 birds, 1 stone.
Okay. And I think that's a manipulate someone.
What are you doing to my coworkers?
Your boss specifically.
Oh my God, you ran into her?
No, George.
George
into him?
I sought him out.
Oh God damn! What? I was grabbing a water. What did you do?
I mean, Olivia is in the garage going to the labs. This is like in the front area of the.
I went in the front and started asking questions.
Right where the parking lot is. Literally into the front door. It's just like, "Hey, I need to talk to the manager."
I got a 7.
7.
Which is the partial success, which is I need to prove that I mean it, right?
Yeah.
So Carlos reaches
only if you do something for them right now to show you mean it.
Carlos reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a notebook and pops it open. And on it are 3 partial recipes for Tasmanian tiger tacos. And with like, and they're like all Australian different themed foods. One of them's got like a Vegemite based sauce in it and whatnot, and like there's sketches of an addition of thylacines in a potential part of the ride. He's like, so this is what I got so far, but I really just kind of want, like, the more she was like talking about it, and the more I was working on this, the more I just kind of want to know more about it. Like, you did something fantastic, and I want to kind of like, as much as you can let me know, of course, find out what I can.
Yeah, and his skepticism as you start showing this starts to fade away, and he's like, actually, it's like, and then he's like smiling. He's like, well, good. It's might be old news by now, but that's still one of our biggest successes.
Yeah. So, and I just thought, it'd be something different, something like, because like, let's be honest, almost everything I have in the rides and whatnot is themed around, the superorganism. Got to spice it up a little bit. Got to add those little extra things, because otherwise, if the superorganism stops being interesting, oh, we're in trouble. So, diversify now while I can.
Of course. All right, sure. Let's go talk. And he'll lead you back to. Doesn't look like a main office, but looks like an office he uses to meet with people. And he sits down on the other side of a desk and goes, my God. Someone just like blew up my phone.
Yeah, Carlos doesn't want a superorganism ride. He wants a, redemption ride.
Yeah.
Redemption ride sounds like one of those Catholic guilt things.
It does.
I promise that the redemption ride will not, in fact, be a Catholic thing.
So what were you, as Carlos, what were you trying to learn from the?
So
Carlos, he kind of goes. So what do you need to know?
Well, I was just kind of like,
want to know.
I don't know a whole lot about it other than you did it. So I was like, what kind of was the process behind it? And like, you don't have any on the preserve now, I'm assuming. I've read, or Olivia mentioned, I think, that you sent them all to Australia. So.
And New Zealand and Tasmania.
Nice.
That was a specific thing That was a specific thing Lucia really fought for, was that not all of them just go to Australia, because they were a shared thing for, for all the, the peoples there. But you would have to talk to her about the technical aspects of it, but I helped with some of the project leads. A lot of it was convincing player opponent that this would be the whole. Oh, I had a specific term for this. Hold on. Can't remember what the specific project was. And he goes, the Endangered Wildlife Revitalization Project, we had to fight hard to get player opponent's approval for this, for resource allocation, and, this was a big project. And of course, we picked thylacines were one of the choices, because considering the Fossick family's origin and player opponent's origin to Australian roots.
Yep.
Picking the thylacine helped, gather international attention from community in Australia, and they're honestly one of our biggest donors still. But it was. He goes, you'd have to ask her about it, but we gained the genetic material from the. And he kind of like spins it as he's like thinking. He's like, sorry, it's been decades. We got it was a donation from interested parties in Australia where they had preserved specimens or something like that, taxidermied, I believe, and through processes that Lucia helped pioneer and her brother pioneered, and as well as the former head of player opponent research, when they were mentoring under him, basically, they developed ways to extract genetic material from resources normally you wouldn't be able to, and that was one of the big steps in being able to revitalize and clone organisms that have been extinct with no fresh samples, like the moa.
Yeah.
They were cloned from a mummified foot found in a cave.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, we believe it was probably a meal for some large predator. Went into the cave, dropped it, and it just got left behind.
Fair enough. Guess one predator's problem is the future's solution.
Disclaimer: as the keeper, I don't know if that's the actual theory for why the moa foot was in the cave.
If that memory serves correctly, the thought process is that the moa would just died in the cave, but for the purpose of the game, it doesn't matter.
In this world, it got carried there.
So, it's like, I hope I'm not just going off random tangents, but I hope that's what you were looking for. Anything specific you were interested in?
I was honestly, the part that kind of was starting to boggle my mind, which is why I had some time this morning or this afternoon, at whatever time it is right now, to swing by and say hi. What was it like bringing back an animal that didn't have known behavior patterns? Like, you had something that there was no other part of. Was it like hard to raise them? Were they particularly aggressive, maybe, or were they very trusting of people?
There were, full disclosure, not every attempt was viable. There were a lot that it was a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a learning experience for every species. Or like you've met him, Dr. Lucia, is the parakeet, the Carolina parakeets. And populations have been actually reintroduced to the Carolinas and other parts, the eastern U.S. But that was its whole, can of worms. Each genome is very distinct, and it takes a while to crack it and figure it out. But yeah, that's always kind of the problem without a surrogate, I suppose. To act as a parent, it was up to us to help socialize them, and using records and observations of old, biologists back in Australia and such. And it's a learning experience with every one of them. Certain species, it's a little bit easier, like the moa. We were able to surrogates were a pair of emus that it very rapidly outgrew.
That makes sense, yeah.
But it was able to, help it learn to go for, the fruits that it needs to eat, how to scratch up things, that we think that maybe because of the emu influence, raising influence, that might be why it's a little. He kind of pauses and laughs, and he goes, as my daughter calls it, like a Muppet.
Fair. Yeah, I remember one of the times we came by and visited one of our friends, accidentally bothered him.
Yes, heard about that. Yeah, sometimes it can be a little testy with new people. Usually it's very docile, and honestly, but it's just sometimes it gets a little testy at night, and I believe that's when it had an incident with your friend. That thing does not have any kind of night vision at all, so it probably just reacted as a stranger being nearby. So
that's
text first, ask questions later.
That's completely understandable. Though, while I have seen the parakeet and the moa, because the parakeet's adorable, by the way.
Yes, Eli is a good boy.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's a very good boy.
The thylacine is a carnivorous predator of Australia, right? So did you have any issues with dealing with him like that, or people getting hurt?
There were a few injuries, but we actually did have people come in from Australia who are helping write. That was actually one of the things, and people who have been dealing with one of the closer relatives of the Tasmanian tiger, the Tasmanian devil. They were able to come in and like help out, but same with them. With certain species, they are just biters or
these
scratchers.
Olivia was mentioning
depending
they
on
had
what
Olivia was mentioning they had a really wide mouth gap.
Oh yes, they. Have you ever seen what a possum is like when they scream? It's shockingly similar, and then you really see what it's like when the marsupial comes out when they do that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Before I lived in town, I was kind of traveling around the nation, and there were plenty of time I had to chase an opossum screaming with its mouth wide open.
Oh yes.
There's a
They do
reason
like
I
to
don't go
scream.
back to. There's a reason I don't go back to West Virginia.
the possums have a hit out.
Possums have a head out.
But and is there anything else you'd like to know? I could talk your ear off for hours about this.
I would gladly love to hear you talk my ear off for hours about this if you have the time, though, because I just think it's really neat, and the more I know, the more it can be useful for helping out building the ride and writing up the right things, and maybe getting a little more attraction guests who visit my place to come visit your place.
This is a cute interaction.
So, yeah, he seems pleased with this deal, and since he is the manager, he does realize the value of cooperating with familiar businesses, with other local businesses, and he goes, if you can whip up some pamphlets or menus, you can totally put them in the lobby. We'll trade some, send you with a stack of them, that kind of thing.
I'm going to the print. I have to go to the print shop to pick some up probably here in a couple of weeks. When I get the extras, I'll bring them over here just so people can come visit.
Perfect. And when you go out, just talk to the receptionist. They'll get you a stack of them if you want to take some now.
Sure, I'll take some. I'll get a fresh stack for sure.
Okay. And so, without dominating the airtime with these two talking,
Hey, honestly though, I really enjoyed that, character and world building perspective.
But I will need a small break for myself, so feel free to talk. I'm still listening. I'm just gonna have to mute myself for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, so Carlos is entirely feeling it to find out if there were a lot of different bite victims and whatnot. 100%.
I know what you're doing, but you actually just kind of stumbled into a really wholesome interaction.
Oh yeah, no. It's Carlos is going to do the whole taco and thing. There are recipes planned, and it is entirely to spite Olivia. Because it's the tooth she's been obsessed with. Well, maybe she can chomp some Tasmanian tacos down while she's figuring it out.
Hey, what's this delicious thing you've given me? Glad you asked.
She will murder you. And she'll feed your body to the moa.
Also, I stepped away for a second. Were there any informations on bites in that?
Yes, actually. The thylacines in general were biters, apparently.
And was there perhaps a bite in the year 87?
Shady.
I didn't ask that.
There might have been. God damn it.
Yesterday when I saw The Last Voyage of the Demeter, there was a trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's, and while I was watching it, my brain was just like, man, the lore for that series is so fucked up. They had a whole game about a kid who got fucking bitten by one of the animatronics set in the 80s, and then it turned out it wasn't the bite of 87. What was the fucking point of that? What's the
Bait and
fucking
switch?
point of that?
A bait and switch?
A shitty bait and switch. What's the point? What is what is there being a second kid who got bitten add to anything?
What I think you mean is it was a bite and switch.
It's like if I wrote a story that was like, and then there was a big witch who cursed a kid, and later you met a witch who curses kids, and you're like, oh, is this the lady that we foreshadowed earlier? No, it's just some other witch who curses children. Oh, okay. Why though?
Mont Blanc when talking to the other three hags.
We have fun here.
We do have fun here.
We do have fun here.
Killed 7 people.
You need to stop doing that.
With your donations, we can kill more.
We're not very far in destroying all the French, but we're trying, and with your help.
Yeah, so here's a list of all the times French got its ass kicked. You could use your help expanding.
Unfortunately, they keep tossing their white flags towards us. It's very distracting.
And I'm probably seeing that movie in theaters. It's inevitable.
Assuage the Demeter or the FNAF movie?
Yes.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about it because on the one hand, Scott Cawthorn is kind of at least in the same ballpark as J.K. Rowling, where he literally used his money to support Trump's campaign. And I don't know if I want even like $7 of my money to go to him, and support that.
Which is true, but he's also
On the other hand, it's a huge horror landmark, and and it's like Jim Henson Company doing puppets in a horror movie, and I do have no small amount of love for the scenario that FNAF generated, and it would be interesting to see if someone made a coherent mythology out of it.
Yeah. And, he has stepped away, and, other people have taken the reins of it, actually, and, are doing the story themselves.
But does he still get royalties? Because I'm assuming he still gets royalties.
Probably.
I mean, J.K. Rowling didn't make Hogwarts Legacy, but she's still cashing its paychecks.
Yeah, but he's not tweeting about the fact that I shouldn't exist.
Yeah, so he's not quite at the same level.
It's
He
not
donated
great.
to Trump. It's a moral conundrum.
Yeah. I'm
moral
invested.
conundrum.
I can't help it. I've tried to just completely.
Am I coming through?
Yes.
I've tried to completely just detangle myself from it, but I can't help it. I'm invested. I was
Anyway,
there when it first got big, and I'm invested.
Yep, but back to
Speaking of things invested, Hayes, it's your turn.
Yes, Olivia. Your turn.
Oh, I'm just going to see if there's any updates about the sheep.
The sheep?
The sheep.
The sheepies.
The sheep.
And
Sleepy sheepies.
And I brought Winifred with me just in case a werethylacine shows up and she gets to punch it.
It's the were-sheep. And
oh, that's not what she wanted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Winifred.
Yeah, it turns out that was the real monster of the Ark.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it fucking American Werewolf in London. American Werewolf in London out of its own skin.
I have seen a movie with were-sheep, and
yes,
it's not good.
You know the one I'm talking about.
I do.
It's not
yes.
So.
Yes.
You go down to the lab area, Winifred tagging along, and you meet with one of the techs who you actually talked to last time when you brought in the javelina. They go, well,
Let me guess. Before you say anything. Similar to the javelina.
vaguely. But I was
Vaguely.
going to say, you certainly bring us some interesting ones, Olivia.
I mean, that's my job, isn't it? To keep you guys on your toes.
But you certainly go out of your way to, it seems. But anyways,
Hey,
I don't mean that
all
as a
about
bad thing. Anyways, you want to know about this, right?
Yes.
Bite profile is similar. Narrow, probably a narrow snout. Very sharp teeth, going by one of the ones we recovered.
Another one?
Yeah, although this one was a little more intact, we're getting it examined to, and gene spotted. Let's see if, figure out what it is. But yeah, I'd say it's about 50-50. Maybe whatever killed the javelina killed this too.
Fuck.
Something, both got eaten. Both were scavenged by scavengers afterwards. Both hunted at night. Similar bite profiles, slashing its claws. It could be something similar. Kind of looks like a bear paw. Might have been what slashed at this thing, but it's definitely not a bear's jaw shape.
And
Definitely not a bear's tooth.
And we don't really got them around here.
Right.
Get very, very lost.
The lost bear. So the claw marks are weird to you too, right?
I mean, yeah, well, it seems like honestly like a bear, like a polar bear swipe or a grizzly swipe.
Oh my god.
It's still, paired with the bite pattern. That's what makes it weird. It's just
How is the bite?
it almost
weird?
looks like two different things helped kill this. Maybe they kind of shrug it off. Like I said, you bring us the interesting ones. I wasn't really expecting to do such forensics on, sheep, but certainly interesting.
I appreciate you. If there's something out there that's more dangerous than your average animal, I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, if the tooth belongs to whatever killed this, good chance we'll know at least close to what it is. I even know exactly what it is once it's tested. What is it?
Got any ETA on that?
Couple hours, probably.
Okay.
There's a lot of genetic code that has to be compiled and read through.
Of course.
That even with the computers, that takes a while.
Yeah, no worries. I just we'd figure out what my day is looking like. Man. Fucking wow, huh, Winifred?
So they excuse themselves and go back to their lab. And
I now the lab technician, unless you have otherwise, is envy now in my head.
Okay.
Unless you want otherwise, but
they were just like the kind of faceless NPC, but sure. So yeah, that would fit.
Awesome. Yeah, because we're this world is a bit more tolerant than the real one, so.
Yep. So
I am precisely non-binary because I have no face. No one can tell my gender, not even me.
And But they hired a trans woman, so
After a tragic accident where I was mauled.
By a
God.
thylacine.
No,
Anyway,
it was just a normal thylacine. It was just really committed.
So,
yes. Well, while we're here, I guess we can go and see. God, I just said my boss's name earlier. Fuck, brain.
Lucia.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, while we're here, I might as well go see how Lucy is doing. You wanna come with, Winifred, or?
I might as well. I don't really want to see what Tommy and Fred are doing, because then I might have to stop it. So.
She makes it
Tommy and Fred. Just for Tommy and Fred, you guys just having a good time?
Yeah, essentially just looking at different animals at the at the zoo, trying not to fall in that one thing of mongooses that tried to eat me that one time, or weasels or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Mongoose. And when you walk past it, they all just kind of do. It's weird. You haven't really seen mongooses do this, but they do the like meerkat thing where they all just kind of stand upright and just stare at you as you walk past.
I'm not a cobra. Ooh, cobras.
See, why aren't you
That
mad
would
at
be
them?
So that would be a very bad idea, keeping the cobra exhibit next to the mongoose exhibit. So
he sees the sign pointing towards the cobras.
yeah, there's the reptile area. There would definitely be cobras. So yeah, it's just everyone expects Tommy and Fred to be up to no good. They're just, oh, we're having a great time.
Yeah, we're
To
chatting
get our
about
guard
the weather. You know?
So,
Figure the adults got it all taken care of. We can have a fun day at the zoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God, we're the adults.
I mean,
so
that's kind of how you established yourselves, so yes.
Olivia,
guys
your
get the
boss.
responsibility.
Sorry, what was that, Tommy?
You all get the responsibility.
So, Olivia, your boss's office isn't too far from the labs. You'd be able to track down Lucia pretty quickly. She is in her personal office.
Huh?
And as soon as you open the door, there's a chirping and a fluttering as Eli kind of dashes out, and she's just like, "Yeah, go, you little thief." As Winifred, you have the reflexes enough to see this parakeet go flying out with what looks to be like a saltine cracker, like the whole package.
Oh,
It's like not like the whole sleeve from like a box of them, but like the 2 cracker package they used to give out. It's just like, and when you step inside, she's like, I was just gonna give him one, and the other one was gonna be for later, but she shrugs. So, what's up, Olivia?
hey, Lucia. Well, she claps her hands together. There might be a case.
Case.
There might be another less than normal creature that may or may not be causing trouble.
That's why Winifred's here. Hi, Winifred.
Hello.
Winifred wants to punch it.
Yeah, I do.
She comes in, closes the door.
Do we know what the punchable thing is?
We might. So, do you remember the tooth, the thylacine tooth?
Yes. Did you find another tooth? Wait, no, they
No.
did say something about a tooth being sent to the lab.
Yes. So yeah, we did sort of. I found a sheep that was torn apart. Tell her how, I tell her all the off things, so I have to say it for like the 5th time tonight because I can't, I haven't just yada yada.
Yeah.
Tells her what's weird about it. And
That
that's
does not sound like a normal attack profile of anything that I know of.
and you remember that tooth? we're pretty sure, But no, yeah, we talked to her about it being away or something. Didn't we?
She seemed skeptical, but
Well,
yeah, that's one of the things that frustrated you, Olivia, is she just seemed like, uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. When we live in a world with fucking vampires.
Vampires are a medical condition, and turning them into monsters is rude.
Okay, yeah, but a vampire is no more strange than
Carlos.
someone. What?
Thank you, Pop-Up Carlos.
Yeah, but a vampire is no more strange than someone being able to transform like that. Seeing how we saw, since that Winifred can do it, which just adds more fuel to this.
Are you revealing to your boss that your friend can shapeshift?
Yeah, I know that she can shapeshift, but not everybody does. I mean, they might now.
No, do you mention that in front of your boss?
No. That's not mine to tell.
Okay.
Okay.
That is Winifred's thing to share.
Yeah.
Or fucking Carlos when he
so
told everyone else.
That's why Olivia believes it, but still, Lucia, the super scientist, is still like, doubt.
Yeah, so it's very similar to that last time we found the thylacine tooth, and it might be related. In which case, we've either got a rogue thylacine or a aware thylacine.
Like I said last time, all the normal thylacines that we cloned, they're all accounted for.
Yeah, and yet, I've already brought you a thylacine tooth.
They somehow made it back across the Pacific after they were released in Australia and such, but...
And yet, I have brought you a thylacine
salmon
tooth.
homing sense.
Have I not?
Yes, you did bring us a tooth, and that was definitely curious, and I'm not doubting you, Olivia. I am really curious about what this is. You don't have to convince me every time we talk about this.
Well, you didn't seem to believe me last time, and
She kind of looks to Winifred, and she in the back is like, years of scientific thought and belief, even with dealing with something such as the superorganism and vampires' medical conditions, it's still a lot to grasp to believe that a supernatural curse causes people to shift into hybrid animals.
We're assuming it's a curse and
tied
everything
to
when it could
the
just
cycle
be...
of the moon.
Well, think of it more like a horizontal gene transfer, then.
Yeah, we're assuming all those extra supernatural facts when it could...
No spoilers.
We're assuming all those facts when really it could just be somebody who has somehow gotten their DNA mixed with another animal and can take on a form like that. We don't know that it's a curse or all the others.
Sorry, someone sent me something that made me laugh.
We don't know that it's a curse and everything. Although we did just fight Akasha, so there's that. So, there is that.
Okay, Olivia, I'm open. You've opened me to the possibility of the supernatural.
But my point being, I mostly just came to tell you what was up and see how you're doing. The other stuff is like supplementary to that.
Oh yes, everything's been good here. It's been pretty average, pretty steady.
Good.
I mean, besides having random dead animals show up with some peculiar deaths happening to them and strange teeth, but other than that, it's been fairly...
Oh, okay.
No, your things.
Okay. Same thing. Okay.
No, I mean, yes.
For a second, I thought you were telling me something else was going on. I'm like, oh god, what? But yeah, okay. Yeah. But I came to see if there's any info on the tooth, which I have gotten more info now on, and see what was up while we were here, because, I feel like I'm always coming to you when shit's going on. And I feel like our working relationship has evolved to a point where we're more than just coworkers.
Oh God, they were roommates.
No. How old is Lucia?
She's in her late 50s. She's more of like a
Yeah.
mom kind of,
Yeah.
or a
She'd be like a
mentor.
mom slash like,
MILF
No,
territory.
she's definitely firmly in the mentor kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, she is my mentor. I was here when stuff's going on, so I just wanted to see how you were doing. And I saw you're dealing with a thief.
With what?
A thief.
Oh yes, and you see that on her desk. It was like probably the crackers that came with her food, like the food that's on her desk. You see, it's probably from the cafeteria and the preserve. And she's like, "Yeah, I was going to share the crackers that came with the soup, but little thief.
Oh.
He knows he's not supposed to be having so many crackers, but
Polly wants a cracker. Sorry. I saw an opportunity and I took it.
Yes. So, is there anything else I could help either of you with? The labs will make sure to contact you once they learn anything more.
Well, just Winifred, you got anything?
Nothing for me. Again, I am dealing with my headache, and my brain is not working.
Oh.
Of course.
No, she doesn't. She's mostly just there to. She wanted to learn what was going on with the sheep, and if it was the same thing or a different thing.
Might be.
It's a thing she can punch.
And as of right now, it might be.
Yeah. You shake the magic 8-ball that is the keeper, and it says, "Outlook unclear."
Grabsero shakes.
So.
Okay, well, yeah.
So you can and this isn't her telling you to leave, but you can wrap up visiting with her if you just wanted to hang out for a bit.
Yeah, she'll
chat with her.
I don't know. You heard about the? Actually, never mind.
So, we'll switch over to Hanzo. Been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hanzo, you are driving to the scrapyard.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you're driving, you're thinking about what Bentley said. You know that Agent Wakefield, you haven't had much contact with her, but she's basically the same rank as you under McLean's supervision.
Yeah.
But you've never really had incident or purpose to really cooperate beyond just like.
Yeah, if we're of equal level, we can go off and do our own things.
Yeah, you're both. One of the things is McLean kind of encourages the individualism, because having people trusting their own instincts, he believes. He's told this, like, he trusts people, he selects people because he trusts their instincts in the moment.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But you haven't really had much opportunity or reason to work with Agent Wakefield.
Mm-hmm.
But heading over to the scrapyard, it's I really need to make a map of the town. I'll just say it's near the edge of town. And But it's actually not far from where Olivia said she picked up the sheep and where the body was. It's actually probably like 2.5 miles away from where that was, you would think. And you're just kind of like, huh, why? You're just like, oh, that's a distance. But as you get to it, you see it's a very large scrapyard / junkyard where it's a lot of, like, you can sort of see it. There's like rows and rows of like scrapped cars, just machinery, appliances, a bunch of, you see one tower of just like a bunch of probably like dishwashers just stacked up one on another in like a small pyramid, that kind of thing. It just looks like, as the name says, McCoran Scrapyard. And you don't see any police cars or anything there when you pull into the parking lot. There are a few, there's like a few dusty cars and like a tow truck. But actually, you see one person that it takes a moment, but you recognize as, hold on, I need to go look back. Oh, shoot, did I not write down their name? Fred.
Yeah?
Hey, Fred. Back at the bar, when you made your friends, do you remember what the name of the one biker who befriended Fred and said he was a tow truck driver?
Fred would remember. William does not.
I can't either. So without going back, Hanzo, you actually recognize one of the guys walking towards the tow truck as one of the people that Fred seemed to befriend at the bar that night before the Kasha attacked when you found Texas.
Yeah. It pays to remember that sort of thing.
Yeah, I just wish I had written down his name because I think it was like, oh, wait. I might actually have. Hold on. Nope, I did not write him down. Damn.
Don't worry, I didn't either. But yeah.
Oh, well.
But Pepperidge Farms did.
I stand by Buffalo.
Yeah, it would be easy enough after the game for me to just go listen to one of the previous episodes to find it out. Anyways, so yeah, there is like an office area that you would probably go to talk to someone that it looks like he's leaving, but looks like he's getting into the tow truck to go, take an order or something, pick something up. You're not sure.
Yeah. You'll just do a little wave to of an acknowledgement. General courtesy.
For a moment, as like he seems to recognize you, but gives a polite wave in return, but gets into his car. Oh, who's texting me again? You go up to the office then, or you go and talk to him? Okay.
I won't stop him from going about his day.
Okay. So you go. You go up to the office, and it's thankfully air conditioned inside. Kind of dusty though, but you see this lady look up, blows a big old bubblegum bubble, pops it, and goes, "What you want?"
Hello, I was pointed in this direction by Detective Bentley. I'm an associate of his.
And she kind of like leans back. There's like a door leading towards the back offices, it looks like. And she just kind of very boldly goes, "Hey, Denise, Phil, someone to talk to you." And after a moment, this older woman, maybe in her 60s, walks out, fairly stocky, kind of she looks like she was fairly muscular in her youth, but maybe lost some of the definition with age, but she still looks like she carries a lot of powerful weight.
Mm-hmm.
But her her fashion sense would best be described as like a mix between like mechanic and beatnik poet. But she kind of steps up and she goes, "What? Oh, yeah, we were told to expect a suit. So hold on, Phil, get up here." And after a moment, you see Phil. You actually recognize the bartender from the Thirsty Devil bar. The large, heavyset man, bald, big beard, lots and lots of tattoos. Retired biker you heard from Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "So, detective said should expect some guy in a suit to come talking about the kid Phil found."
Yes. That would be me.
And Phil goes, "Oh yeah, I think I recognize you. Yeah, you were hanging out with that guy Carlos, right?"
Yes.
All right. He wanted to say that guy Carlos. He goes, he would be like, "I think I've seen you hanging out with Carlos."
Yes.
But
I
yeah,
visited your establishment about a week ago or so.
Yeah. So, yeah, and remember that the night the sandstorm knocked out the windows. But
Yes.
so I was driving home after closing up the bar for the night. It was like kind of friends, I guess. So the cops was like maybe like 3 a.m, I think it was, going by what was on the radio. I didn't really pay attention. The clock's busted in my truck, so couldn't really tell. But I was just driving down the street, not far from here, and going along, and some kid just runs out bleeding into the headlights. I almost hit him. I barely stopped in time. Guy, college kid. At least I think college kid. He was wearing a jersey, like a shirt and like gym shorts from the community college. Bleeding. His arm was all gouged up. His shirt was slashed in the back. Surprised he managed to make it, but he was like mad with panic. I know Denise here, get a lot of the parts to fix up trucks and bikes, scrapyard here. Closest place I knew that would be safe, so I brought him to here and stayed here until the cops came and got him. But he said that he was out. What I could barely get out of him once he calmed down enough, realizing we were safe. Honestly, he didn't calm down until he saw, the shotgun I keep in my truck. He was once he saw that I was armed, he finally started to calm down. But said something was chasing him out. He said he was walking out in the desert, just hiking, at night, going to go for a jog. Said he was a trek guy from the college, and found something eating someone. Kind of grimaces and glances at Denise and the receptionist. A lot of receptionists this episode, I realized. But he goes, yeah, something chased him, but the thing is, whatever it was spoke to him and told him to run. And he kind of gives this dark chuckle. He goes, I don't think the thing realized he was a track star. And he says he barely managed to escape and tried slashing at him, but somehow he managed to get to the road and found me, or I found him. whoever's chasing him probably didn't want to deal with too many. I don't know.
And
That's what I told the sheriff's detective.
this
sheriff's
kid, he's
deputy,
all right.
Yeah, and Denise chimes up. She goes, "Yeah, I live in the building the floor above, and this office is like a 2-story thing." She goes, "Yeah, I live on the floor above, and I got a first aid kit. You got to be careful here. A lot of jagged metal here, so you always got to make sure you can patch someone up." And yeah, it looked like some kind of animal was chasing him. It was like 4 claw slashes right down his back.
And where's this kid now?
Cops took him to the hospital. At least that's
Good.
what I assume. The ambulance took him away.
Good. I
Talked
don't
to,
imagine.
The detective and Denise chimes up. She goes, "Yeah, and some bird that was dressed up like you."
Repeat that?
And she goes, some bird that with a similar fashion sense to you. Some lady.
Oh yeah, the agent. That's what you're referring to, Sarah?
Yes. You get the sense she's talking about Agent Wakefield.
Yeah, and Wakefield was the body they found. Right?
What?
No. Agent Wakefield is the
other spook.
Your coworker, essentially.
Yeah, I remember that part, but I
You don't know what the name of the body is yet.
That's right. And so
and Phil goes, the kid, I think his name was like Ricky Sweet. And he kind of like, maybe that's his nickname as a runner. I don't know. It was all I could get out of him.
Maybe I'll pay a visit to the hospital once he's in a shape to talk. But was there anything else unusual about his wounds?
Unusual how?
Well, more anything outstanding. You mentioned the claw marks. There's not too many animals around here that rely on their claws to kill.
Yeah, the closest thing would maybe be some kind of big cat, and it's actually the receptionist who chimes in with this. It's like, yeah, it'd have to be some kind of like big cat, like a mountain lion or something, right? They're around here. And Denise nods. She goes, "Oh, yeah, but not around here. They're up in the mountains, mountain lions."
Well, sometimes animals get lost or are pushed out of their normal territory, end up in strange places. Wouldn't be the first time a animal that's a common sight in another territory suddenly spooks a lot of people. And he's about to go into a bullshit, calm down the normies mode. And to be honest, the mentioning of the whole standing upright could be a bear. I've heard similar. But
Pander.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the normies to freak out.
Yeah, so you spin a spiel.
Yeah.
Which is valid.
Mm-hmm.
Entirely valid.
So yeah, anything else outstanding about his wounds? Anything he might have said in his delirium?
He said I tried to bite him a bunch, but it only swiped at him. He said he was too fast.
So he was not bitten. And you didn't find any bite marks upon him?
No, it just looked like claw marks on the arm and his back. It really looked like he was running from something.
That's good to know, because who knows what
I mean,
kind of animal this is.
Although
or...
his knees were all torn up, it looks like maybe and his palms were but there was gravel, so maybe he had taken a fall at one point. But
yeah,
other
trying to
than that,
scramble away.
Yeah, really, all that.
That's good to know that he wasn't bitten, because if this is an animal out of its normal habitat, who knows what's wrong with it? Could be
and
sick.
You hear the receptionist. She's like, "Oh, you don't mean rabies, right?" Oh no. And
I wouldn't
Denise
go so
just
far
kind of
as
sighs and looks at it and goes, "Girl, just shush." You get the sense that it might be her daughter working the table.
Aww.
I wouldn't go so far as
There's
to.
a slight familial familial resemblance. That's the term.
Yeah. He looks to the younger woman. I wouldn't go so far as rabies, but it's always never hurts to be safe. You could still get infected from bites.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
But Denise goes, "Well, I was glad that we're here that provide shelter at least."
Yeah, I don't imagine you saw or heard his pursuer, whatever it was.
Phil shakes his head. He goes, "No, after I got him in the truck, I stepped out with the gun and scanned around, and I didn't see anything. It was just..." And he goes, "If you want to take a look, it was just up the road. It was one of the street lights that he stumbled out of. Might be able to track up something around there, but..."
Thank you.
And he goes, "It was right by the stop sign. So you know where that is. You actually passed it pulling into the place."
Thank you. Any information is helpful.
Of course. And
No, if there is anything else.
Yes, one last thing. Tell Carlos he still owes me $15 for the last poker game.
I will. He puts that down in his little notepad. He was taking everything down in.
He kind of lets out a laugh at that. He goes, "It's no big deal. I'll see him at the next game." Anyways,
Thank you for your time.
I'm still haven't slept, so I'm going to go back to bed or go home and get some sleep.
Do that. You've certainly earned it. You've saved that kid's life, probably.
That's a good thing. I guess that's a good thing of having the worst sleep schedule, at least. Well,
Silver linings.
so you excuse yourself, and you see Phil go over to the truck that's parked there, and do you want to go? Actually, he would kind of, if you want, he would be able to point you to where exactly he picked him up. But if you want to go,
Yeah,
investigate
he's gonna poke around then.
Okay. And you both get into cars. It's a little bit, faster just to drive the little bit there. But he goes, when you stop, he rolls down the window. He's just kind of there in the car or the truck aisle. He goes, "Yeah, it was right around here." He goes, "Oh, yep, there's some of his blood." And you see on the asphalt a few dark specks of where the blood had dried up, from the heat.
I'll take it from here. Thank you.
Yep. And he drives off, and you can see he very clearly has a gun rack in the back window where you see a double-barreled shotgun, like a hunting shotgun.
All right, it's time to investigate a mystery.
Indeed.
Now, where did I put my dice? I'll just use the bot till I can properly locate. Though it has been a while.
Exclamation mark R for the roll.
There we are. That's a 13.
Ooh. So you get a hold of 2. what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
If you don't mind, I'll just kind of think aloud. Which is totally not because I've been playing Witcher recently.
No, definitely not.
Well, I know what happened here. Kid was being chased, pursued, attacked by whatever this thing was. Claws, tall, could speak. Slashed at him a few times with claws. But where did it go? That would be my first question.
You start backtracking, following the trail of dried blood out into the desert area, because the scrapyard is like very much on the edge of town. Not a lot of buildings want to build around it, or developers want to build around it. At least not yet. So
as he's walking the trail, it's like pretty out of the way. No one would have known if he had been killed.
Yeah, and as you're going along, you realize that this college kid, however old he is, ran several miles to get from where Olivia said the crime scene was.
Damn.
And
no wonder he's a track star.
You start following the dried blood trails, and it's a little hard to follow it with the trail being this old, but with such a good roll. You do see eventually what looks like, the scrambling footsteps, or like deep footsteps in the softer sanded dirt of area, so you're able to track him. And you find not far from where the road is, because it looks like he might have been running along the road for a point. And
head toward civilization.
Yeah, you see what looks to be impressions in the sand, because it is like a dirt road that ran, or like a dirt path that ran along the actual paved road.
Mm-hmm.
You actually do see what looks to be like deeper impressions, like deeper footprints, heavier.
Bigger and heavier.
Like maybe it's a horse, because there are a lot of horse riders that go around, but it's just the gait is wrong. It's more bipedal. It's definitely bipedal, you realize. But then you realize that it seemed to skid to a stop and then turn, and you realize, looking around, you find the tracks leading off back deeper into the desert again.
Would that be the same direction as what the crime scene general direction?
Yeah, if you follow it a little bit more, it looks like they start looping back in that direction.
Yeah, he's just kind of bending down, evaluating, putting those things together in his head.
Some like stamped branches and what looks to be like scuffs in the dirt.
Must have broke off the chase once it realized he was gonna get away. Didn't want to risk an incident, which means it's smart. That would line up with it talking to him and trying to hunt him for sport. He just wasn't expecting the next victim to outpace it. That surprise may have given him the head start to save his life. That's where it went.
We'll have a hold.
Yeah. I'll ask, what is being concealed here?
Concealed here?
And if not exactly here, anything he might have seen on his way following the trail.
So, there's not really much in this area, it seems, that to really pick up on. But I'll just say that something is like like was bugging you with the story that you were told just now. It's like, wait, Phil lives in the bar. He lives above the bar. You're not sure why he would say he was leaving the bar to go home, but he lives above the bar.
Oh, that's actually something I forgot / missed. That does finally kind of click in his head. He'll head back to his car then.
Yeah, you're not sure like why he would be telling that. You know, like what?
Yeah, I am
Maybe
curious.
slip of the tongue or something, but
yeah, it's
do
generally
know
a
that-
night bar, right?
yeah. And one of the things he does is you learn from like speaking to Carlos is that like Phil is because it's a bar / like attached to a hotel that he also runs. It's kind of like a flop house for bikers to pass by or people who are too drunk to like throw them into a room until they sober up and charge them for the room in the morning. But
Yeah.
His thing is he sleeps during the day and minds the bar at night when the more rowdier crowd is in. That way he can, break things up if he has to.
With all that clicking in his head, he like does an about face, the way he came from. What is he doing at the scrapyard? And of course, he's keeping in mind, while he didn't say anything to feed the suggestions of werewolf or werethylacine, he didn't dismiss it. He's gonna head back the way he came.
Back to your car.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So there's no new messages waiting for you at the car. It seems that as you would at least assume that you're not being called in to deal with what happened nearby or fairly nearby, but
no, but I'm simply doing my own investigation as a concerned citizen.
Yep. So, where would Hanzo head next as we decide, as we're going to have a little time jump, because it's getting, afternoonish. We're going to jump ahead a bit to the evening. So, where would Hanzo be going? Unless he had something, or if he had something specific he wanted to do. Oh, excuse me.
To be honest, he might stake out the scrapyard until remind me what's his name again?
Phil?
The bartender.
Yeah, Phil.
Yeah, he's gonna stick around, stake out until he's see if Phil leaves anytime soon.
I don't do accents because I'm bad at them, but you get the sense that he's probably Mexican descent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's very curious about Phil now, so he's going to lay in wait.
Okay. You do know the one person you do know that might know more about Phil. It would be Carlos, but
that is
you're not
true.
sure exactly where Carlos is. And let's actually go to see. So as evening starts to approach, Tommy and Fred, you both had a nice day at the zoo, at the preserve.
Tommy, I know I was joking about it, but there were Nazis that escaped into South America. What if Hitler faked his death and went down there? Wouldn't that be fucked up?
It would be, but don't worry. He's dead as a doornail.
Thank God. Whew.
Tommy made sure.
That's what it was like. That was
Tommy,
the
time
confidence.
traveler.
That was like,
Tommy
confidence
appears
of
precisely when he means to.
That is Tommy, as a young man, did a secret mission for the U.S. government in 1963, going down to Peru and making sure a certain individual stay dead.
Yeah, Hitler asked an associate for ranch, then Tommy came in
Oh,
and hit him with a wrench.
Jesus fucking
A
Christ.
ranch? I thought you
it
said
all
a
comes
ranch.
back to ranch.
God damn it, Tommy.
As it should be.
Indeed.
Good job, Shady. Good job.
Thank you, thank you.
Do you think the others have figured out how we're gonna catch this werewolf yet?
I don't hope so. It's been a few hours. It's getting dark. It's getting full moon. Full mooner. What is the tense of full moon?
I don't know, but it's the middle of the day, man.
Wait, I thought it was getting dark.
Is it?
Yeah, the sun it's getting closer to sunset.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ! Where can we get some
We did
silver
a
fast?
We did a little bit of a time jump. You lose time when you're at the zoo.
Jesus Christ! We gotta find some silver fast. We gotta go to the pawn shop.
Can you
You
afford
know a
that?
curio shop.
The curio shop that is magic. And I don't think Fred has gone there yet. And met the
Yes, he
lovely
has.
host. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's where he got
We
his
went with him.
jacket.
Right, forgot.
That's where he got.
That's where you guys got jackets. And she actually did mention the werewolf pack that roamed through about 20 years ago, right around the same time as the flame-handed killer. So
Mhm. Yeah, that was the red herring of the arc.
red herring.
All right,
of this
we gotta
entire
get some
game.
silver, and we gotta get indoors because the fucking werewolf's gonna get us if we're outside at night. And we gotta work the vampire rules here until we got a plan. Not that I would kill vampires. My friends are vampires. Well, some of my friends are vampires.
Red, that does not sound right, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking in monster movie tropes.
And from what movies have taught me, I'm pretty sure a werewolf could go through a door.
They won't because they're busy hunting on the moors and whatever. I don't got pentagrams in my hands, do I?
Oh my god.
Time.
Okay, good.
Would you expect Winifred to stay outside if someone did it, invite her in?
I think vampires behave the same way. Like, vampires love coming into places. That's like Dracula's whole bit. That fucker loves to get in the house. Werewolves, they like to stay outside. That's how it is.
I will take your word.
I mean, you think about it, like bats, they're really only a problem when they're in your house, right? Whereas a wolf is a problem when you're outside.
But it's a werewolf.
It's a conversation.
When a bat's
That you
outside,
hear-
it's eating bugs, it's not causing problems. It's when it's in your house that you get bit and get rabies.
So, Winifred, Olivia, and Carlos, you all kind of converge as you hear Tommy and Fred having this conversation.
But you must acknowledge it is a werewolf. That means it is partly a man, and a man and home invasion.
What are you guys doing?
We're kind of waiting for you guys to figure out what we're doing. And also talking about the possibility of needing to get some silver and get indoors so that the werewolf doesn't get us because we don't really have a plan yet.
Carlos, you just finished up talking with George for like an hour or two, honestly. You guys started going business.
Oh, I ship it.
George is happily married.
Oh, okay. Don't ship it. Never mind.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fuck. Crap. Shit. God damn it.
Well, we were just seeing if there's any. Oh wait, it's been a few hours. I should go check and see if there's anything back in that tooth yet.
No, drop my feet into my fucking side of my computer. Shit. Fuck. God damn it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Do you need help from Nora?
No.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, it didn't spill. It's good.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Good.
I could hear the pure panic.
Also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Autumn sent me this. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Amazing.
Where's Skeeto, Nazi Hunter?
Oh my fucking god.
As it should
There is
be.
a non-zero chance El Mosco exists in this universe.
Yeah.
El Mosco exists in every universe. It's fine.
Because it just means fly.
Yeah, the fly. Not a tiny fly, the fly.
So
Yeah, I have had.
Hanzo hasn't shown up yet. You haven't really heard from him since actually the diner.
Well, real quick, it's been a couple hours now. Has anything come back on the teeth?
Does everyone follow Olivia back? Actually, you have that thought, and then you turn around as you almost walk into the tech, and she's like, "Oh, hey,
hey,
Olivia."
Yes,
there you are. So results came in, and again, you bring us the weirdest stuff. What
do we got?
So the tooth is anomalous. We can't match it.
What?
We can't match it.
What do you mean you can't
by
match
shape
it?
or genetics.
What?
It means it's unique.
The shape is both oddly mammalian and also looks kind of like a crocodilian tooth. The genetics suggest that there are genes that you would normally find in also crocodilians, but also some found in primates. There's a little bit of possibly thylacine in there, maybe. You found some kind of chimeric creature, is what I would guess.
Either that or the computer finally worked.
Or what?
Sorry.
Computer just went. But the tech is just like, the computer is basically shooting out does not compute error messages as it's trying to comprehend what this is.
Holy shit. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it probably means the sample got contaminated.
Yeah, just how comprehensive is their genetic database?
I mean, they clone the extinct animals. It's probably pretty.
Yeah, I was just,
I was
just curious about their library, like how large it is. Not that it would help narrow it down. That's just me being a world building nerd.
So I'll just say that actually, Carlos, you would know that in talking to George, that the preserve and pluripotent as a whole has probably the world's most complete and largest genetic library of the animal kingdom and beyond.
It's one of the largest in the world, if not the largest in terms of animal genome.
Not
bad for an Arizona town.
Hear, unmute sound, or is that just me?
Or at least that's what Olivia's boss said.
And yes, Nora, I've been hearing it every so often.
Okay.
What?
Like a mute unmute sound.
Oh, that's me.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I'm talking.
I'm just curious.
Interrupt game.
Okay. Wait, what's this about my boss?
Oh, that's what I've been doing. Don't worry about it. But he said that you have one of the largest genome databases
in the world.
In the world for animals and beyond.
Yeah. So we wouldn't just. The computer wouldn't just have a coop them up.
Yeah.
Well, if a sample's cross-contaminated, like it has
with all of those.
The sample, not the library.
No, I know, but even if it was cross-contaminated, it wouldn't give us such bizarre things. It would give us what it's contaminated with. That's how
Yeah,
DNA works.
honestly, I mean, I'm going to bring this up to Dr. Lucia, but honestly, the weird part is some of it looks like, and this tech, I'm just going to keep saying, and I'll just say she, because I kept trying to do like a gender neutral thing just because it was thing, but I kept saying she anyways.
Yeah.
She's like, it's, I'm not nearly informed as Dr. Lucia in terms of like genetic stuff, but if I had to guess, this is like some of this stuff looks like how SBF reacts to cells. It's like something was changing or actively mutating. She just kind of shrugs. She goes, "Whatever was this tooth came from is in a, if I had to guess, is in a constant state of genetic flux."
So way freakier than a were-thylacine, huh?
Don't know where that came from, but it's definitely not like the last tooth you sent that had, well, weird and, or at least like kind of weird, a little deformed from what a normal thylacine tooth would be, but it was broken, so I didn't think too much of it. But other than that, it's just normal thylacine DNA, it looked like. Whatever this is not that. Or if it was, got real messed up since then.
That the old tooth is only like a week old, isn't it?
Like a week and a half or so.
So this is either
Maybe
two separate things, or
Something got fucked up.
something's gotten fucked up since we last got a sample of it. Well, do you have any idea what could make something like that?
nothing natural. I mean, maybe superorganism shenanigans. Stuff gets weird down there.
Exotic substances.
Yeah,
Things getting. So does the thing happen where like things can get like?
well, that's the thing. Well, Dr. Lucille will have to take a closer look, but I think I saw some markers indicative of genetic tampering. Maybe, but like I said, it was just too chaotic. The computer was having trouble. She's probably going to need a more powerful system, maybe pluripotent itself, but.
So in this setting, in the superorganism, is the thing where like animals and stuff can get conglomerated together inside the superorganism. Does that happen here?
There's rumors of that. Winifred's never seen anything like that, but
okay.
Then I wouldn't probably want to keep that quiet.
Well, see, the thing with the superorganism, living in it does induce mutations, but you haven't seen chimericization like that.
Okay. Then I wouldn't.
There's the mole tortoises, which are tortoises grown to like almost elephant size. There's the chupacabras, which were vampire bats originally. Stuff like that. Or the Sirani, which were crocodilians.
Most organisms have a clear genetic stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it honestly is. Most of the superorganism endofauna that you've encountered and know about, like the scorpulidite and all that, are things that have adapted to a very unique ecosystem.
You can at least still trace their ancestry.
Do you think this thing's in danger? Do you think this thing is in danger?
I mean, I got no clue, Olivia. Without like inspecting whatever this is in person, it's.
She looks like right now. She has switched into, oh no, this is possibly a hurting animal. Oh no.
whatever it is, it's not normal. It's not natural. Even
Well, I
like
really
naturally
appreciate
mutated,
it.
this is. It's so chaotic, and to have, but still have a form. This feels designed. Like I'll have to double check with Dr. Lucia, but if I'm just giving my first instinct at looking at this, this is artificial.
Like a bit of controlled
Maybe.
chaos.
You're not here.
Sorry, I'm nerding out a little bit. It's fascinating.
I know. It is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to understand it as a player.
So this, we clone things. So this could have been like a genetic soup made into a living thing. Is that
maybe
possible?
Well, that was
Like-
the thing. That's what it reminded me of. That's why I said SBF, the biomimetic fluid. That's what the superorganism uses to grow. It's basically a slurry of stem cells. It's where pluripotent gets its name from. A pluripotent cell is a type of stem cell that can diversify into any other specific type of cell that a body needs. And actually, Fred, you would know from your little surgery that was what was partially used to help cure your burns.
Oh yeah, that was used on Olivia and Fred. Oh no.
But despite your paranoid checking, Fred, you haven't grown any scales yet.
Whew.
You aren't Dr. Connors.
Thank God.
And it would be kind of cool though.
Now I just gotta worry about being a werewolf.
God damn it. So, fuck, this just gets weirder and weirder.
Like I said, Olivia, you bring the weird ones in. I'm gonna go bring this to Dr. Lucia.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Wonder if Hanzo's in range as she pulls out her radio.
The technical leaves. So,
Pulls out her
Hanzo,
radio. What?
Oh, you're calling Hanzo?
Yeah, I'm seeing if he's in range because these things they have a range, but not like unlimited range.
And I'll just say it's crackly.
Hanzo, Hanzo.
You do have his car telephone number.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know if he's in his car.
I am. I'm
Sure.
waiting in my car.
I mean, I know.
You
but
wouldn't
I
know
don't.
that, but
Yeah.
You know I go out to
Yeah.
check messages, so you can at least leave a message.
True.
Hanzo,
Fine.
the walkie
then I will-
that Olivia gave you does crackle in your glove box.
Oh, wonderful. Just open that up.
But it is not good quality. You're losing a lot of words. It's like when Discord starts roboting, you're basically on the edge of the effective use of these things.
Okay. Hanzo, it's really. Where are you?
He smacks it a few times against his palm.
Yeah, it's not helping. You're probably gonna have to call him.
Fuck. Hopefully
Well,
he's in his car.
Yeah, he's got the number for the reserve, right? He gets frustrated, so he's just gonna dial you up.
Okay.
Yeah, and Olivia, after a few minutes of trying to raise him on the walkie, one of the random workers at the thing goes, Olivia, you gotta call holding from Hanzo.
I guess he was in his car. Thank you.
Pick up the phone
Hanzo?
and it's Hanzo.
Olivia?
Shit's gotten weirder.
Elaborate.
We got a tooth from the sheep corpse, and I thought it might be, similar to that last weird tooth we found.
Thylacine?
Not even close. It's an amalgamation of fucking reptile. What else was in there? Mammal.
And she specifically said crocodilian, reptile, primate, a little bit of marsupial, maybe thylacine. She wasn't sure.
Yeah, she lists off the various things. All in the tooth.
And it sounded like that wasn't even all the stuff that was in there.
Yeah.
That's,
And like that's not even all of it that was in there.
That's quite the medley.
She said the text said it reminds her of ASF, right?
SPF.
Yeah. What?
SPF. I know it sounds
Okay.
like sunblock formula, but it's
Said it reminds
standard
her of
biomimetic
SPF.
fluid.
Biomimetic fluid.
Hmm.
The kind of stuff that the super organism uses to grow.
Yes, you nerds would recognize biomimetic. I did steal that from Star Trek.
Oh. you don't get to call it yes nerds when you're the one who saw it from Star Trek.
Hey, we know our own weaknesses. It's like people calling each other out for, weebs calling out weebs.
Yeah, but
Or
we're getting a little close to the end, so.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I have no fucking idea what's going on now, Hanzo. Where are you?
I'm pursuing my own investigation.
Are you investigating? You listened to what I said.
What?
You listened to what I said. She said,
Detective.
You should go looking on your own.
Detective Bentley got in touch with me and expressed wanted me to look into something.
On here, I thought you were like taking my advice into account. All right.
The end result is the same, is it not?
Yeah, but anyway.
How much do you? Detective Bentley mentioned to you. How much of did you see when you were picking up that
Sheep?
what's it, the sheep?
Just the sheep and a bunch of cops.
But you weren't informed of what they were investigating.
Dead
it
blur
looked like
agent.
it looked like they were heading out into the desert to go invest, wherever the crime scene was.
Okay. Yeah, they're
Wasn't by the
heading
houses.
out into a desert. They found a dead pluripotent agent. I told you this already, though. So I figured they might call you in.
I'm refreshing my mind. No, they haven't called me in. But
Weird.
Detective Bentley pointed me out. Apparently, there was an attack last night, but someone survived.
Oh, that's who survived. Maybe we can ask him questions.
Some kind of track star kid. I took down all the evidence.
You say the name?
And yeah, I wrote down their name too. I just can't remember it off the top of my own head.
What Phil got from the kid, because he was still kind of like panicked from the whole ordeal. Kid's name was Ricky Sweet.
Some kind of kid who calls himself Ricky Sweet. He survived. He's in the hospital now.
You know that name.
I do?
It's the little brother of someone that you went to school with, like an old friend.
Oh,
but,
fuck!
Like, you know that growing up, yeah, Ricky was a runner, in school. But they were a few grades younger than you, because you're older than this guy is. But you recognize it's like, yeah, Sweet is the name. It's the last name of not like a close friend, but someone that you knew from your grade growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear her go, oh fuck, Ricky Sweet?
Yes, that's
Are you sure?
That's what I was told.
Oh fuck, I gotta.
The kid's in the hospital now. He's alive. I managed to write down everything. Important to note was that he was just out for a night jog when he came upon something eating a corpse. Stood up on its hind legs, told him to run, and apparently didn't expect him to be a track star. He managed to outrun the thing.
Yeah, Ricky has like the school record for like the mile run.
He was slashed up, but important to note that the people who took him in, he managed to run all the way to the local junkyard. That's where I am now.
That's a far. I know that's a far run, right?
Yep.
That's fucking far.
Well, when your life's at stake, your body tends to push itself beyond your normal limits. But the people who took him in and patched him up a little bit noted that he didn't have any bite marks, so...
That's good, if that means anything in this case.
I wasn't ignoring everyone's earlier conversation. Perhaps this is some kind of cursed creature and it's passed through saliva of sorts.
I don't know anymore. It sounds more like it... Hanzo, this sounds more like it was intentionally made.
Possibly. But as I was getting questions, something didn't add up. That's why I'm currently staking out the junk shop.
By yourself?
Yes.
When there's a potentially dangerous creature running around.
So funny hearing a Nora character chastising someone for going off on their own.
Hey!
It is kind of funny.
Also
After
funny
Zoe-
hearing a Nora character chastise a teenager for not being responsible earlier.
Listen, I'm playing a character in those.
You really are. It's great.
Well, do remember, Olivia, I've been doing this job for a few years now, and
Yeah,
I've survived until now.
You've typically run into fucking were creatures?
Well, in the last few weeks in your company, I've encountered all sorts of things. Used to be once upon a time that all I had to deal with was a chupacabra.
Yeah, which would tell you you should not be out there by yourself.
Yes, however, whatever it is we're dealing with it's smart enough to break off the chase when it knows it couldn't catch him before he reached civilization.
Which means it's smart enough to hide itself.
Smart enough to not raise, make an incident. I know there's junkyards at the edge of town, but I'm just staking out the place. One of the people there who was, the story didn't line up for me. I find their presence in the junkyard to be a little convenient, or at least worthy of investigation.
Why is that?
Beep, beep. Hanzo, you have a call incoming.
Sorry, Olivia, I have another call, but I've told you most of what you need to know.
Alright, well, fuck, I need to call Ricky's brother. Good lord.
Click.
Yeah.
Picks up the call before it's too late.
And the other call is... Shoot, who's... There's something karmic about this. Hold on, I need to mute myself because someone's calling me. Just a second. Timing.
Yeah. Going off on her own was one of Zoe's character flaws. It is not a Nora thing, it is a character thing.
See, it's not really a character flaw for me, it's just part of my job.
Exactly.
The funny thing is that Hal has done it more often than she has, and he doesn't get shit for it. It's very funny.
Because Hal's polite.
So, Hanzo,
Unfair.
on the other end of the line is Dr. Guerrero as they go, Hanzo, I know you were probably planning to come visit, but it might be best if we reschedule. Complications have come up, and I am being reassigned. Seems that they weren't. He kind of lowers his voice. Seems they didn't appreciate my speculations when I suggested that this death may be tied to Dr. Porter, or this most recent death to had come in today, considering the similarities in wounds and the fact that most of Dr. Porter was not found.
Well, that is rather convenient. Do you know where you're being reassigned at least?
I will still be here. It is just
Not your case anymore.
No, they're bringing the remains elsewhere. My guesses would be their opponent, but I do have to be careful with what I say.
Yes.
I'm sure you do. Just figured I would pass along this. Have to cancel our meeting.
Thank you for updating me. I happen to be in the middle of something anyways. I was about to call and inform you I might not make it.
Not fortuitous, then. Well, good hunting, Agent Hanzo.
Keep your head down.
And I was going to suggest the same to you. It is statistically proven that things become more violent around the time of the full moon. Being around long enough, I can say there is truth to that. Be safe. And hangs up the phone.
Mumble to myself, well, that's kind of hard to keep my head down when my job description is putting my neck out.
I like that.
I would like to roll. I don't think anything has happened in the time of staking out the place. And
you don't really see much. You actually see the receptionist. They get into a car and drive off. It seems she doesn't live there, but you don't see anyone else leave. Denise is, but you do see like lights come on, like above, on the upper story. So. Oh, excuse me. It seems like Denise was probably telling the truth about living there.
Yeah, I was gonna roll to determine whether or not my gut is telling me if this is just a
Go ahead and roll that.
silly.
Go ahead and roll plus weird for trust your gut.
That's a miss. Instincts lead to danger.
Yeah, something about this scrapyard is just bugging you. It's like, why would Phil be out away from his bar,
Especially as night is falling. Now that night is falling.
Yeah. Because this was like in the middle of the morning, or like after 3 a.m. when he said he found Ricky running around the street here. But yeah, it's just something's about this scrapyard. You just something's bugging you about it. You get the urge that maybe you need to check this out.
Yeah. And you said no one's really left, and you said it's getting later in the day. Is like, why isn't he heading?
The moon rising up, and it's like pretty dang full. It's like rising up from the horizon.
Why isn't he going back to his bar?
Oh no, Phil did leave. He left when he was leaving when he showed you where he picked up Ricky. He has not come back. You just have not seen Denise leave. But there's still just something weird about this. And actually, as you're watching, hold on, shit.
Oh yeah, it's the start of a mystery. I need to roll my ability.
So, oh yeah, right, shit. So sorry, someone knocked at my door. But as you're waiting there, you start thinking about this. You see another car pull up, and you see, it's smaller car. It's not a truck or anything. And stepping out, you see a man and a woman get out, and they walk up. And as they walk up to the office door, it opens up, and you see Denise step out, like give them both a big hug, like one arm around each, like she's a big enough woman. She should get these like kind of good-looking people close, and she did like that look of just like, oh god, someone much stronger than me is hugging me, very tight. Even from this distance, you can tell. But they get ushered inside, and one of the things
seems to be a kind enough reception, right?
Yeah, it looked to be like the guy, because it's a guy and a girl. He was wearing what looked to be a biker's vest. It's a plus R, Nora. It's an exclamation mark R.
Thank you.
But you see this guy. He's wearing a biker's vest. It looks like, and not a Hell's Coyotes one, but this time it's like, doesn't look like a insignia for like a gang or anything, a biker gang, but it's just, you see this like large raven or crow, just very nice detail just on this bike vest, very very intricately done, and they kind of get waved in and walk in with Denise.
Something else doesn't add up for me either. Tracking out the tracks, it was about halfway through the desert that the monster seemed to break off pursuit, but I also came under the impression that, it was like someone said it was right behind them. I may be just genuinely misremembering the conversation.
Yeah, it looked like the pursuit continued until he cut across onto the road. I might have. It looked like as soon as he got under the light and where Phil says he found him stumbling out onto the street, that's close to it, and the path leading to the tracks leading towards that way. That's where they seem to turn off and then loop back towards where Olivia said the crime scene was.
And the scrapyard, how far away is it from the bar? Like
That's
other side of town?
Not other side of town. It's like a good 10-15 minute drive during the day, with traffic, but probably shorter at night. Yeah, it's pretty isolated. Bar's not really close.
Yeah. Rather weird for someone who's, home and business is in the same place, going for a pretty out of the way late night drive.
And as you're just kind of sitting there looking, as the last bits of sunset, light are going, the sky's turning orange and purples. This is the stinger for the ending. Don't worry, folks. You look up, and you're like looking around towards like one of the edges of it, or like the fencing that goes around this large scrapyard. Very tall fence, a lot of valuable scrap to be in there, barbed wire. But as you're looking around, you kind of see, almost silhouetted in the sunset's rays of light, you see what looks to be a figure or something large slip over a portion of the fence where some of the barbed wire looks to have been fallen off from misuse or just disrepair. Something large and seemed to have a tail and almost like a strange pattern that caught briefly in the light, but it was mostly a silhouette. You can't be sure what you saw, but you saw something.
Yeah,
he's
got his gun and he is getting out of the vehicle.
No!
I believe that's where we're going to end, as the last rays of sunset fade as the moon starts to rise up into the sky.
No!
Welcome back to Oasis Valley. So, that's the end.
Yee.
Nice to be back with Oasis, Ellie.
Yeah.
We done recording, Scatha?
It was fun